You're in my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. You're the chaser, I'm the eraser. I ruin your record, I'm back here to break ya. I cut like a razor, so call the trophy engraver. I'm gonna get it, wait till I win it. God, I'm so glad to be in it. Can't wait to say that we did it. This is my life and I live it. Ready to give it my all when you fall back. Taking advantage of all that. Demons on average are so bad. Playing short-handed, your team scratch. Time to assess all the damages. I knew that you couldn't handle this. It takes a man to stand up to the king, and unfortunately you were bandages. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. This is why we do it. This is what we live for. We on top. We number one. Hands to the sky. Never back down. Never back down. You're gonna know my name. You're gonna know my name.
Welcome in, everybody. Ooh, little lag there for the stream. Apologize, it'll settle in. Cold waters. We appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate all the kind words. Welcome back. We promised you another finale here at St. Croix C on Tuesday evening. We've got it. Another 1 hour dash here on the beautiful French track here at St. Croix C. And we've seen a interesting battle from our pro division in their finale run here last night as well here at GT45 Gaming. And unofficially, Lucas 369 appears like he pulls out a championship run here in the Pro Division, and hats off to all 18 of our registered Pro Division drivers here this season. It was a tough season, but congratulations to all of the Pro Division racers, because, man, I gotta tell you, they put on a show, didn't they? But tonight, the spotlight goes to our Pro-Ams. You know, it's always fun to watch the pros go, watch that top tier division go in and show us how you can put these cars on the limit and do things that we really didn't think were possible with these LMP1 cars. Now, we've got our Pro-Ams, and in all honesty, the Pro-Am lobby is always one of my favorite lobbies to broadcast for, because the Pro-Ams, they're a racy bunch, always a racy bunch. The Pro-Ams are very comfortable with where their racing experience is, with where their pace is, and typically these Pro-Am lobbies, all the drivers are very close in pace as well, so that creates for some really great door-to-door racing, and the Pro-Ams don't necessarily concern themselves or worry about all the more finer details about racing, how maybe to save tires a little bit better, feel a little bit better. Obviously they're trying to do those things, but it's not something that they're always thinking about. They show up to the racetrack, those cars come out from the paddock, get into pit lane, and once those racing suits get on and the helmets get strapped in, it is go time for the Pro-Ams. So the Pro-Ams are always a fun watch, and we're going to see that here tonight for sure, without a question about here at St. Croix C. It is a spicy racetrack, as we saw last night. Even our championship points leader here in the Pro Division last night, showing even his struggles with St. Croix C, and not having a great race for himself there last night. But again, he did have a bit of a gap in the points, so that did allow him to have a little bit of wiggle room as well, obviously. So he knew what he had to do there, and we just can't make it official yet until we do the scoring. But we're still about 10 minutes away from the race here. We have a large grid right now here from the Pro-Ams, and we're going to talk about where our points are sitting here for the two divisions that are racing here tonight. I'm getting warnings that the stream is struggling a little bit here. I do apologize. Hopefully everything just settles down here. We are a little bit behind schedule today, so the computer hasn't had its normal amount of time to kind of get ready to stream. So let's talk about St. Croix C here real quick. Again, a French track here. This is a fictional racetrack. It is designed and developed by Polyphony Digital in cooperation with Gran Turismo 7, and it's actually is a great racetrack. It is a 6.73 mile racetrack, 10.83 kilometers. It has 24 left and right hand corners. It is a tarmac road surface. It is an original circuit, meaning it is a fictional circuit created by the game developers, and it has an elevation change of 144 feet approximately, and is also the largest of the three St. Croix layouts here in Gran Turismo 7. But it is definitely a doozy, and I mean, we're going to see it here very soon. Now, it is a double points round here tonight, so first place has 64 points available here tonight, which could change everything in our championship point standings in both of these divisions here today. Now, with that being said, the way the points have been scored all season long in this particular lobby is wherever our AMs finished in the lobby is what they score for points based off the overall points position for that lobby, and that is how their championship is also being scored here. Now, with that being said, that means the reverse grid tonight is going to be set based off of overall points in the entirety of the division, because that is how the points are being scored. So you may see some of our AM drivers in a place you wouldn't expect them to be here in this reverse grid based off championship standing starts. So that means we will not have a qualifying run here today, and that is why we're going to see the 1 hour race, because we have a little extra on the line for the drivers here as well. So let's talk about our points here real quick. We're a little ahead as far as that goes in a sense, and it is Tron Kobe coming in as our Pro-Am division leader here, and he's got 247 championship points. In second place behind him is Team Rad's the Damn Cat with 233 points, and in third place is 10 Tenths Fast Ginger with 219 points. Now, you may think that that's a pretty big slide, seeing a 28 points gap from first to third place, but when you have 64 overall points available first place, plus a potential fastest lap bonus point, which could make an overall 65-point day for our winner could change everything. So the championship title is not secure here tonight. Trone Colby does not have the cushion that Lucas 369 had in the pro division here tonight. Trone Colby is definitely going to be feeling that pressure here tonight, but I think that Team Rad's the Damn Cat and Fast Ginger are also going to be feeling that pressure here, because that championship essentially is up for grabs between these three drivers. And now, with that being said, that also places Ten Tenths Egon with 180 points in 4th place and RA Superman with 177 points in 5th place. And those two guys with a huge amount of points on the table here today can also still finish overall on the podium here tonight as well. So the top 5 drivers are definitely thinking about what they need to do here today. That is on their minds, and it's going to be interesting to see how their strategy and their race pace really sets in here tonight, because it is the last race of the season. This is the last chance to score points. It is big points on the table. We are in for a racy race tonight, and I would go bet money on it right now that this is going to be one of the raciest races this season between the Pro-Ams, as long as they can keep the pace nice and close together. The track sometimes will separate those drivers. So let's talk about our AM division here. We still have a few minutes to go yet. It is currently Dark Cobra leading the AM division here with 149 points, but when you put that overall in the overall division, that would place him 6th place, about 28 points in behind RA Superman. So doing quite well here this season is Dark Cobra. Medic is in 2nd place overall here for the AM division with 95 points, and Sugar Rush Racing, even though missing a few races here near the end of the season, is still holding on to that final podium position here with 78 points, but with a couple of his competitors chasing him here in the grid tonight, and we're not seeing Sugar Rush here tonight. It is potential that we could see him lose that spot here, and Scary Guy with 67 points and Bandit with 57 points here are also in grid tonight here to try and score some good points to try and see if they can lock down a podium in their division. So it's going to be very interesting to see here how all this shakes down. Now, Dark Cobra has a pretty solid AM division lead here, and I don't think that it can be taken from him here at this point. So that is potentially who our AM champion is here unofficially right now before we even get started here today. But the eyes are really going to be on this Pro-Am battle here tonight between our top 3 Pro-Ams. So Sheriff Doofy has come in late into the season. He's charging his way up in through the standings here as well. And he was looking, I think, to try and finish in 5th place overall here in the top 5 at the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do tonight. And he is another one of those drivers that can take very vital points away from those top 5 drivers, trying to secure their points in the standings here and lock down an overall podium this season as well. Now, the podium is important for these racers here this season. Even though we're not giving prizes and awards to our champions and our top 3 finishers this season, we are, in a sense, still rewarding those drivers, because they're going to get a very special invitation to an all-star event to cap off our first ever GT45 Gaming Championship season here. So the top 3 from all 3 of our divisions will automatically be invited to the All-Star race, which will be held in 2 to 3 weeks time here after the end of the season. We're just finalizing all those details, and we'll get those announcements out once we have it all finalized. We have announced the track and the car combination to our racers, so they do have an idea what is in store, and I gotta promise you, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And YouTube apparently seems to be struggling, so I apologize if that's the case. Hopefully we don't lose the stream tonight. That would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? I'm just checking on things here. Alright, so it's skipping frames. It is most certainly not running at its full potential right now, but we're going to keep pushing through, and just hopefully it does what it always does and just settles in to the rhythm of what we're doing here tonight. With that being said, we should probably screen record this just in case. Alright, so we're a couple minutes away, so let's talk about our driver of the days here real quick. Now, I haven't had time to get the graphics up into the stream here, and at this point I don't know if I want to even try to do that because it's lagging. So let's just talk about it here real quick. So our Pro-Am driver of the day for round 9 at Suzuka did go to THG's Tyrone Kobe, our current championship points leader in the Pro-Am division, coming into our final here tonight. And he had just an outstanding performance in round 9 at Suzuka. And I mean, it was just too hard to really put any other name in the conversation for driver of the day last week other than THG's Tyrone Kobe. So it is going to be THG's Tyrone Kobe with the GT45 Gaming Driver of the Day award for round number 9, and that will also give him that extra bonus point for that award. So that leads us into our amateur division, and it was much of the same thing from our AM championship points leader in round number 9 too. It was a very great race from him, finishing very high up in the overall field in first place overall again here for the AMs last week. So TPC's Dark Cobra is going to be GT45 Gaming's driver of the day for round number 9 at Suzuka for our AM division as well, and of course that did award him an extra bonus point there. So great performances by both our points championship leaders here leading into round number 10, but now it is all on the line for the next 60 minutes. Woo! Let's go. All right, so we are going to reset the lobby here, and then the drivers need to select their starting tires and check in. We're just doing this where you guys can't quite see it. Oh, hold on. We're not done with the message yet. Oh, we're struggling, chat. We're struggling. Come on now. Where's my predictive text? There we go. Alright, I hope everybody at home has had a pretty good start to their week, and I hope everybody is ready for what should be a pretty exciting race here tonight. I know I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to get this thing underway for everybody. And tick in. Sorry, I'm multitasking. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little distracted. I'm just trying to write a little bit of an elongated message to the drivers here without the keyboard clickety-clacketing. Alright, so we are gonna reset our grid here, the lobby, of course. Now, the reason why we do that is just to get our racing conditions back to where we would like them to be at the start of the race. Now, granted, it is the random weather model, but we still want to reset that lobby, and we have our reasons for that. This is beyond, obviously, the starting point of the race. It does also give an opportunity to sniff out anybody who's having some steering wheel issues or any last-second connection issues as well. The double reset will sniff those issues out, and drivers will black screen, they'll disconnect. There's a lot of different things that could happen to the driver, so that sniffs out those issues, gives them a chance to reset. We wait for them, and then hopefully everything's all good and we send the race off. So now the drivers are going to select their starting tires. We're going to set that grid up and we're going to go racing. Beer to calm the nerves. Cheers, brother. Cheers, brother. A lot of pressure for all the drivers. Obviously, this is not an easy task, so you just gotta go through your pre-race routine. You just gotta take a big deep breath and just try to settle into your race as quickly as you can. So we're just waiting for one more driver to check in here, and then we can set our lineup and we can get this show underway. Keep losing my lineup. Bandit, check in. Pretty please? I'm nervous and I'm just watching. Oh, you got it. You got it just before I sent the message. All right, I got you, brother. Appreciate you, my dude. All right, let's set that starting grid. So With that being said, we'll walk you through it here as we set it up. And it is going to be a TT Bandit starting in pole position here today, so that will put him up in first place. Now, that does not give him the bonus point for pole position. We do not award the pole position point for reverse grid style races, so we do take that point off the table during these styles of races. So there is no bonus point there for Bandit for being in pole position here today. We got Scary Guy's going to be in right there beside him in second position, and that's going to put Medic lined up in row number 2. Where's our boy Medic? There he is. That's going to put Kilt in fourth position, and then Sheriff Doofy right there next up in line. Kilt's already in position, so is Sheriff Doofy. Well, look at that. Isn't that just fantastic? From there, it is going to be R.A. Heathen and then Dark Cobra. Actually, Heathen is not in the grid here, so it is going to be Dark Cobra lining up right in beside Sheriff Doofy there, and then it is all the big boys fighting for the top 3 positions here in the championship. Is going to be R.A. Superman to line up right there in behind Sheriff Doofy in 5th place, and then it is going to be Egon to line up right there in beside Superman. From there it will be Ten Tenths Fast Ginger to line up in 9th position with Team Rad's The Damn Cat in 10th place, and our championship points leader will round out the field here in 11th position. Why do you do this? Why is it that you're not having qualifying, you might ask? Well, if you're just new to the stream, it's all about making the championship points leader fight for that championship. So in the case where there's a little bit of a points gap, this allows the drivers that are trying to chase and find position to get an opportunity to start at the front of the race, try to control the pace of the race, and it forces our more experienced racers or our championship point setters to fight their way through the pack if they want to get those podiums at the end of the night. And typically that is what we see. The question is how quickly do our back runners, our championship points leaders, get through the field to start challenging the podium. All right, so let's make sure everybody's at their rigs and ready to race, and then we'll get this thing underway. So welcome in. YouTube is popping. We love to see the YouTube channel popping and bopping right now. That is always a good thing. And it looks like the YouTube channel has also settled down, so that is a double good thing. We got Voyant France coming in with the thumbs up. We got Aaron Benson coming in with a thumbs up over on the Facebook stream as well. Good luck, Pro-Am and Am Pilot, says Aaron Benson there. Appreciate you, my guy. Definitely have the same sentiment. Good luck to all our pilots here today. It has been a long season for our pilots, and I'm sure that they are definitely just ready to get this thing underway. All right, let's send it, chat. We almost hit the wrong button. Whew. All right. I'm so sad to start the race because that means the season's going to be over in about an hour's time, ladies and gentlemen. But we got to start this race because we know it's going to be full of action. So, without further ado, we're pushing the button. The button has been pushed. The second button has been pushed. Eventually it'll flip over. There we go. Everything's starting to move here. Alright, let's get all that information up on the screen that we love to see here, and let's get off the stuff that we don't want to see, and let's go racing. So welcome in, everybody. One last dance here from our Pro-Am split division here from the GT45 Prototype Challenge presented by Ten Tenths Simracing. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Let's go racing. All right. And we're green, and a racy race start here. Everybody gets to launch, but Bandit takes off like a shot here from the pole position. What a launch that TT Bandit gets here off the starting position here. So there we go, and we're going to be 3 wide as we go through, and Sheriff Doofy makes a quick move up the inside of Ten Tenths Bandit there, and oh boy, we may have the red flag situation here. We had some contact there. I'm not sure who it was, but we're going to go check some cars. Really, only one car has heavy damage there, eh? Okay. So it is Bandit there that has some heavy damage there, and I'm not sure who is checking up in the background there. I'm just trying to see who it is. It looks like TDC's the damn cat. It looks like Dark Cobra making a mistake there now, and everybody is swapping positions around here. So Sheriff is checked out. He is taking advantage of that huge move on Bandit there into the first corner, and he is trying to drive away, but boy, Ten Tenths Kilt is still right there, 2.9 seconds in behind and chasing. It is Ten Tenths Egon in third place with Ten Tenths Fast Ginger up into fourth place. So very quickly, Fast Ginger has moved up through the grid there, and that little bit of turn 2, turn 3 action there has definitely changed the positionings of the grid. Boy, we got Scary Guy going deep off into the corner there, and it's Medic here in 5th place. It's Superman here now in 6th place. We have another driver struggling there and going off. Is TDC Gaming here in 7th position. We got Dark Cobra back up at the 8th. We got Trone chilling here in 9th place right now. We got Bandit there in 10th. I think it was Bandit we seen just shoot off there, and Scary Guy here is just tracking back in here as well. So this is a very tough racetrack here, and the tires are very cold, and a couple of our AM drivers struggling very early on here, but you know what, it is the final race of the season, so let's go racing the tray. Hey, let's go ahead. Good luck, everyone. Appreciate everybody coming in. Welcome. So the Sheriff Doofy, newcomer here this season, he's coming in about halfway through the season here, and has seen some, or showing some great pace, and has added some great competition here to the racetrack. So we got a driver out here very early on in the race there. It is Ten Tenths Kilt here in 2nd position. It is Fast Ginger here in 3rd place with Egon here in 4th position. It is Medic here in 5th place, and Superman in 6th position here. So right now it is Medic leading the AM division here up into 5th place. It is the damn cat here in 7th position. He has Dark Cobra absolutely tucked right in underneath of him there. A little bit of a push there, I think, was what we were seeing there coming from Dark Cobra on TDC Gaming there. And is he going to close up on Superman there, as it is RA Superman there up in 6th place here, just up ahead of TDC Gaming here. So this is very interesting again. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between TDC Gaming and Superman. Dark Cobra is going to take advantage of that little slow up there, and he's going to try and get a position in on TDC Gaming there, and we are side by side, and I think he checked up a little bit there. Now Tron Kobe's going to be like, all right, well, I mean, if you guys aren't going to do it, I'm going to do it here, so I'm just going to slip up the inside here and take this position. So Tron Kobe takes advantage of the confusion here between the pack right now, it appears, and I think Dark Cobra here is just maybe just a little bit rattled here, and he's trying to make sure he's giving space, but now he's got his foot back in the loud pedal here, and he's back into things here. So we have made it through the first part of the race here, and he gets the job done there on Medic on the outside there, going around the kink, just settles into the racing line here, and there really isn't a lot of room there for some side-by-side into that corner. And boy, TDC Gaming, Team Razadam Cat there having a little struggle coming into the braking zone there in turn number 9, and then we got Superman, looks like he's had a struggle here too as well, down in 9th place, and then we got Bandit here in 10th position. So all right, drivers are having some issues here with, say, Croix C very early on, apparently, but, ooh, and there's our race leader going off as well. They're getting it out into the grass. Now, he has a 4.5-second lead, so a small little cushion there for him, but 2 or 3 of those mistakes in a lap, and boy, oh boy, that could sure change everything up as this pack is chasing it. So Ten Tenths Kilt here, and he's 4 seconds down the road here right now from Sheriff, and he's starting to open a gap up on the pack himself here, in obviously trying to catch our race leader right now, and he's got up into 2nd place here. Fast Ginger is in 3rd position here, and he has Egon closed right there too as well, just car length in behind. So 3rd and 4th place here, very close together, and I guess the bigger question is, are we working together or are we racing here this early in the race between the two teammates? Well, we'll just play it out and see how it plays out. There's no team orders here or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. I can 100% confirm that as part owner of Ten Tenths Simracing, obviously. We leave the drivers decide what they're going to do during the races. The one thing that we do encourage the racers at Ten Tenths Simracing to do is, when it gets down to the final 2 laps, if you are working together to try and push up to the front of the field, we fully expect our racers to fight it to the end. So what these guys decide to do right now, well, I guess that's up to them on the racetrack here. But rest assured, Fast Ginger is chasing a championship here, and he's not going to want Egon to be ahead of him here. So Fast Ginger is going to be trying to manage that gap, and obviously a little bit of trust there when you got a teammate behind you too. So a little bit of a comfort factor there maybe, and that just kind of helps these drivers settle in. But it is 3 TT drivers here, second through 3rd right now, just trying to chilling right there, looking for the podium here right now. But early on in the race, 5.5 minutes in, There's still 54 and a little bit of minutes left to go here. We're going to see a couple pit stops coming out of these drivers, and with that being said, let's talk about our pit stops here. Now, we had an interesting endeavor in our Pro Division last night, and there may be a tire infraction in our race last night. We're not going to say any more than that, as it's being reviewed still currently in our race control stewarding's official's office. However, the tire mandate here in the series is during dry condition racing, it is a racing medium and the racing soft tires required, and those tires are required for 3 laps. Now, that 3 laps will include an in-lap and an out-lap, but the big point to that is one full flying circuit lap on those tires in order for them to be used. So if you start the race per se on the medium tires and you want to get off them as early as possible, we got Dark Cobra. Oh, I thought Dark Cobra was actually just coming in there. I was going to say he may be breaking that tire infraction limit right now as we're talking about it, but that means they would have to pit at the end of lap 3. So we're going to use Cobra as our example here, since I almost thought he was going to make a mistake himself there with the tire infraction. If he would have pit right there, he would have been, as it stood currently in the race, he would have not have cleared that medium tire mandate, and we would expect to see him run that medium tire for at least one more lap throughout this race. But he didn't pit, he was just taking a shorter line through there, and that's fine. So if you take it, say, in the middle of the race, say you stop on lap 10, you're at the end of lap 10, you're on the medium tires, you're going to go to the soft tire, you're on the soft tires, you want to go to your medium tires for the middle part of the race stint, then you would be required to use that tire for lap 11, lap 12, and then at the end of lap 13, you would be able to pit and get off that tire, and that would be okay. What happened last night is we had one of our drivers only use the racing medium tire potentially for 2 out of the 3 laps, and unfortunately, if that is the case for that driver, that's going to cost him a few positions in the grid, and that's going to change the overall outcome in the standings as well. So you got to be very, very careful that you are making sure that your strategy is on point. You got to make sure that you got those numbers right. Now, I mean, mistakes happen and things happen, but the rules are also the rules, and it's going to be a very large penalty if that is the case for the infraction. It is no different than what the game hands out if you do not use the required tires in the game settings. So it's a hefty penalty, and if that is the case, it's unfortunate. Mistakes happen, but it will definitely change how things sort out overall in the end of the season as well. So it will be, the drivers definitely need to be mindful of that here tonight. We have not told this group of drivers that has happened. They are unaware of that information. That information, literally, you guys got privy to that information before the racers did here in the lobby today. But we are not going to say who, and we're not going to say if it's for sure or not yet either, because again, it is still under review. So it's important to make sure that you fully understand, especially in league racing, tire mandates, and I mean, the implications of that is unfortunate for that driver is huge, with a double points round at stake as well. But racing's racing. We make mistakes, cars break, we crash, things happen. I mean, it's racing, it's all a part of it, but you still hate to see it. All right, so it's Team Red's the damn cat here, and very early on here, we're seeing a little bit of gapping here. So Superman and Medic here, and Medic is going to take a look up here on the inside of Superman coming into the corner, and Medic is just going to back out of that there. I thought he was actually going to make that nice move there on Superman, but showing the respect to the Pro-Am division driver there is Medic, and just allowing Superman to maintain the front position. I think Medic maybe is just trying to settle in behind Superman here in hopes that Superman is going to pull him back up to the pack here a little bit as well, give him a little help. We got Bandit there in 10th position here as well. Chad going, woohoo, not me. We do have 10 Tenths killed here, and he's about 5.4 seconds now in behind Sheriff Doofy here. Again, Sheriff came in halfway through the season here this season, and he came in immediately showing incredible pace here in the Pro-Am division, and putting some competition on the track for these Pro-Am drivers here as well. And he's showing it wide tonight here, and again, no, the same corner, he gets it really wide, and he actually just kind of makes a little bit of contact with the wall. They're very fortunate that it didn't bounce him off the wall awkwardly, or he didn't pick any damage up from that contact, but boy, oh boy, it is just compiling here, and at 2 corners in a very short amount of corners here, we see our race leader make a couple of mistakes there, and again, very fortunate there, he does not pick up any damage, but now he's made 2 little mistakes. Kilt is close half that distance up. You can see him there now for sure as we're going around here through the first sector of the second sector of the racetrack here now, I guess, and it's sometimes one error compounds more errors, so he needs to just kind of settle back down. He needs to get back into his rhythm here. He needs to make sure those tires are clean, and just worry about running his race here. And if Kilt catches up, then obviously he needs to worry about that at that point in time. But right now, the goal should be here for Sheriff is to just keep doing what he's been doing. He's obviously was working on opening a gap, so he's got a little bit of pace here currently on Kilt in second place, but Kilt has not made the mistake there that we've seen Sheriff Doofy making. That has allowed Kilt to close a couple seconds up there on our race leader. So coming back down into third and fourth position here is Fast Ginger and Egon. Now as we head across the bridge here for the fourth time today. Now we've seen 20 laps from our Pro Division last night, so I would assume we're going to see roughly around the same amount of time from our Pro-Am division here tonight as well. Tron Kobe is now up into 5th place, so remember he was our championship points leader coming in tonight, so that did put him in 11th position here at the start of this race. Fast Ginger, who's a couple cars ahead of him here, who is chasing Tron Kobe in the championship right now, started just 2 positions up ahead of him there in 9th place, so both these drivers have made some good distance up in the racetrack. And then Team Rad's the Damn Cat, who's currently sitting in 2nd place, fighting with both those drivers for the overall championship right now. Currently is just sitting in behind Dark Cobra there in 7th position. So interesting how things are changing here. As each lap goes around this racetrack. I mean, I wish we had a live interactive potential point standings as it was happening here. Maybe that's something we'll try to work on for everybody in the next championship series, is have some interactive point standings here as the race is going on. But it would definitely be interesting to see how that would be shifting around right now, as the racers are constantly changing positions here very early on in the race. Little mistakes being made. Now the racers are starting to settle into the rhythm here a little bit, and I would assume that the pace is going to start setting. We'll start seeing drivers close back up together here again, and then we'll see a set of pit stops in about another 6 to 10 minutes time here, depending on what the drivers have in mind for their pit stop strategies. Now it was a pretty 2-stop dominant strategy last evening in the Pro Division finale. However, we did see one driver make a 3-stop strategy, and that driver that did make the 3-stop strategy was able to still find his way on to the podium unofficially. So which strategy is better? Really hard to say based off that information. We've seen much of that all season long in these races. You've seen a very dominant strategy throughout the whole field, but you always see 1 or 2 drivers just be a little bit off the beaten path of that strategy, and it seemed like one of those 2 or 3 drivers that was doing the offbeat strategy just seemed to find a way to make it work against that dominant strategy for each round. So it's nice to see that there's different viable strategies here for the drivers in the series as well. You can make those audible calls sometimes if your race has not necessarily gone to the desired plan of your strategy. Sometimes you can make that change in the strategy with that kind of knowledge and information and understanding inside your head as well as you're going on. But we got a spicy little battle starting to brew up here between Team Raz the Damn Cat and Dark Cobra. And kind of why I just been settling here for a minute. We've seen obviously the Damn Cat starting to close in on Dark Cobra here. Now we would suspect to see the Damn Cat start applying pressure to Dark Cobra here, as it's Pro-Am currently putting pressure on an Am driver for position here right now. And that's kind of been the fun thing about this lobby this season. This is something a little bit different. We don't typically put divisions together during these championship events, but we didn't have really a strong Am division as far as numbers went, and we were missing a few Pro-Am numbers, so we just decided to smash the 2 lobbies together and see how it went. So it's been an interesting experiment / racing season in this lobby, and the racers have done a really great job in handling the situations from week to week. It's been some interesting situations at times, but I mean, that's multi-class racing. It happens. It would be no different if we had 6 LMP1 cars and 9 GT3 cars on the racetrack doing a multi-class race in that sense, and we would definitely see some issues from the divisions just based off of the outright speed difference between the 2 classes of cars as well in certain areas of the racetrack. So it happens. It is part of racing, and the drivers in this division have really handled it extremely well. So we've had a good championship with all those things considered here on this side of the prototype challenge here as well. So it is Sheriff Doofy here, and boy, he has absolutely opened up a gap here now, 9.5 seconds. So Not sure what went down there, but Fast Ginger now up into second place here. Egon's actually up into third place here, and Kilt, who was chasing Sheriff there, is down into P4 here. So either he caught up to Sheriff and they were battling, and there was an incident between the two drivers, and Kilt got the worst end of it, or Kilt just made a mistake and fell back down a couple positions here, and is now trying to track his way back up towards the front. We're not sure. We're only speculating, but those would be the two best scenarios I could see to see our second place driver drop down into P4, and you got a great corner there. Tro and Colby make a big mistake in behind there, and Egon got it a little bit wrong there as well. So all three of our drivers from third down through fifth place, all making a mistake in turn number 2 there, and it's a tough corner. You're coming around turn number 1. It's a kink. It's a full speed kink. You're not lifting there, and we'll jump on board with Superman here as he comes around that exact corner. So you're at full speed here. I mean, we're doing 170 plus miles an hour at the point that we're going around the kink here. So 180 miles an hour, 185, and then whoa, on the brakes, boom, throw the anchors down and get this car to turn in and wait. You got to be patient and not hit the wall. It's a beautiful executed corner right there. So from 190 miles an hour down to 120 miles an hour in about 120 meters through turn 1 and 2 is what these drivers are having to deal with in this in the first part of the racetrack. So it is a difficult sector of the racetrack. It is very easy to make a mistake there. We've seen the pros make mistakes there last night, and we're seeing the Pro-Ams make similar mistakes here tonight. But it's just, you miss your braking point coming into turn 2, coming from such a high rate of speed and having such a small amount of time to brake, get your car to turn in and not shoot out wide. And there's a very fine line of room for error there, and if you get it a little bit wrong, typically you pay the price for having a little chat with Barrier there, but depending on how hard you hit the wall there depends obviously whether or not you pick up damage, and damage at a big, long, fast sweeping racetrack like St. Croix C or any of the St. Croix layouts will cost you time even for those 30 seconds. So it's valuable time on the racetrack. Definitely don't want the damage. Alright, so Kilt is in 4th place here. Sheriff still leading things here with Fast Ginger up into 2nd place. Egon into 3rd position. Kilt here is in 4th position. We've got Trone Kobe here in 5th place, and it's that small mistake from him in turn 2 that we were talking about right in behind Egon and Kilt here. And that just kind of knocked him off the charge a little bit there. He set him back by a couple seconds, but he is back on it and moving in a forward direction here, and he will continue to chase down to the podium there again. But now he does have Team Razadamcat, who is right behind him in points in the championship points lead, closing in here as well, about 3.1 seconds in behind our AM championship points leader here. Dark Cobra is coming, and he's got about 3 seconds in behind the Damn Cat right now. And he's got about 32 seconds ahead of Superman here. So, ooh, and there's a mistake there, going a little bit wide, eating some grass right there, manages to keep it in the right direction and out of the wall. And then we got Superman here now in 8th position. We got Medic here in 9th place, and we got Bandit here in 10th position. So everybody is moving and grooving, and we're down one driver here, Scary Guy, already in behind pit wall here today. It was unfortunate, but he would have lost P3. Yeah, it is. Alright, so we have Egon and Kilt both coming into pit lane here, and this will start our first set of pit stops here tonight. So, like I said, we should expect to see at least 2 pit stops here from our racers this evening, and, well, you never know. We did see a 3-stop last night. We could potentially see 3 stops here tonight as well, so it's not necessarily out of the program here yet. Alright, so the gap between Fast Ginger and Sheriff here is 8.2 seconds. Trone Kobe is 7 seconds in behind Fast Ginger. Now with the pit stops made by Egon and Kilt, that puts Damn Cat up into 4th position. That puts Dark Cobra here up into 5th place. That puts Egon into 6th. That puts Kilt here in 7th. That puts Medic in 8th place. We got Superman now up in pit lane. Fuel Man is filling up that car. Get the fuel up in that LMP1, and let's see what Superman can do here on his second stint. We seen last night that the pros who were able to charge back up through the field with the small little mistakes being made from their competitors up in front of them and just keep a nice, good, clean laps, and I would suspect it would be no different here in the Pro-Am division today as well. But Sheriff Doofy made a very quick move there at the beginning of the race, got through that AM leading charging field there and broke away from the field very quickly, and he's just been trying to control the pace of the race since. Now, with that being said, it has been the perfect race here for our race leader. We've seen him make some small mistakes around certain areas of the racetrack here, and some of those areas are areas that we've seen multiple mistakes from our race leader here as well. So with that being said, it has been a shaky race lead start for Sheriff Doofy, but he is still in the lead, and he still does have a 7.5 second gap to the current chasing driver, Fast Ginger. Now, some of these drivers are still going to have to make a pit stop here, and then we'll see where everybody is sitting after our first round of sequences here. But it is undercuts versus overcut, and that always kind of seems to be the case, isn't it? Keep pushing, Trone, looking good. Keep pushing, Trone. All right, so it is the damn cat here, and 2.2 seconds here on Trone Colby. So he is slowly but surely closing in on Trone here, and this is definitely a battle we're going to be keeping our eye on. Here is this, and this, and they're all in a line right now. It is one behind the other, just separated by a little bit of distance on the racetrack right now. So let's see what happens after pit stops. Very interested to see where everybody comes out in comparison now. So our race leader has decided to come in here on the end of what appears to be lap 7. Is that correct? That is correct. So the end of lap 7 here, our race leader making his first pit stop. You can see that fuel can going in. Trone Kobe also choosing to stay out on the track here, as well as Fast Ginger. So seemingly similar strategies coming from those two. We got Dark Cobra, who is also continuing to charge around for another lap, and that is going to put him in 3rd place overall here currently on the racetrack. We got Damn Cat getting fuel. Sheriff is coming out, so the gap was about 8.6 seconds from him to Trone, and then Damn Cat was about 3 seconds in behind Trone, so it was about a 10-second gap to the race leader from TDC Gaming. So we're going to keep our eye on that here as everybody comes out. Now, Fast Ginger still is going to need to make a pit stop here, so is Trone Colby, and so is Dark Cobra. The remainder of the racers in the field have made their first pit stops here, and it is Sheriff here who is going to come back out in front of the current pit stop drivers. That puts Egon next out in 5th place, with Kilt just in behind there in 6th position, and then Team Raz Damcat here in 7th. And we'll have to wait and see for the remaining drivers to pit before we'll find out exactly what that gap delta is between the race leader and the next driver chasing, who is currently Ten Tenths Egon. Alright, so we're trying to keep an eye on the gaps here before these pit stops happen. I mean, it's going to be the next lap or two, judging by what we're seeing here. Some of these drivers will be definitely at the end of this lap. And Fast Ginger doing actually a really great job managing his fuel here compared to the rest of the field as well, I've noticed. Sheriff here in 4th position, and oh boy, little dodge at a wall there. You definitely do not want to have a little discussion with the corner of bridge exit wall. That usually relates to having a bad day, so that was very close there, and had to kind of force the car to make sure he got around that little trouble spot here at St. Croix, and that's all the St. Croix layouts. Bridge Hill tends to create complications on both entry points, depending no matter which side of the bridge you're entering on. Bridge Hill just likes to eat race cars. Now, maybe it has something to do with the change of surface, the change of what surface, the tarmac surface is, of course, laid on. Bridges, obviously, gapping water or a crevasse or an opening, a large opening, so it could be not maintaining maybe a same temperature as the rest of the racetrack due to those factors, and maybe when the drivers are getting onto that portion of the track where the bridge is built on, maybe the track is not quite under the same condition, and maybe that changes on how the cars are reacting when they enter on to the bridge. I'm just speculating, but it would kind of make sense. It would make sense. We got Superman here in 9th place. He's 22 seconds in behind Medic, so he's closing. He is starting to close here. Alright, so the race leader has come in, Trone Kobe has come in, and Dark Cobra has come in. And we are going to note that Fast Ginger had 10% more fuel than Trone Kobe and Dark Cobra when coming in to pit lane. That is 10 liters of fuel. So that is 2 seconds. If he takes the same amount of fuel as his two competitors pit stopping in behind him, that he is already gained on those two drivers by just having that much more fuel in his tank when he came into pit lane. Fuel saving can most certainly help you gain track position in a situation where you don't need to take full loads of fuel in a race like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for Fast Ginger, but it does put him 2.1 seconds in behind Egon and 15 seconds in behind Sheriff. So hard to say if they actually gained there. I would say it was about even. I'm going to say there was no real gain from any director there. There was no gain from Sheriff, and I don't think there was any gain from Fast Ginger and Tron Kobe. And boy, I tell you, these two right here, Fast Ginger and Tron Kobe, they are on pinpoint identical strategies. It seems here as we come around the racetrack, and Tron Kobe came out extremely close in behind Fast Ginger there, and now I understand why as I look through the grid here. But we've got Kilt up into 5th place, and Team Razadam Cat here in 6th position. Now he's 20 seconds behind the race leader, so he did lose a little bit of time there to the race leader throughout that sequence. We have Dark Cobra here in 7th position. We got Superman here in 8th place as Medic is making his pit stop here, and that puts him about 50 seconds in behind Dark Cobra there. He's definitely got some work to do on the racetrack, but Superman will continue to track up this racetrack here and see what he can do here. Lots of racing left. We're not even halfway there yet. We still have 33 minutes remaining on our clock yet tonight. Lots of time for everything to change here. Alright, so it is Sheriff, and he is the fastest man on the racetrack right now, and it's a 3-minute point 669. Now, Paymay's a fast lap last night in the Pro Division. He did have the fastest lap on the racetrack with a 258.21, somewhere down in there. It was a very quick lap, and that was actually on the racing medium tires as opposed to the racing soft tires, which is crazy to think about, actually. But that does go to note about something we talked about last night, and tire degradation on some of these racetracks, and how the medium tire could be more advantageous than the soft tire. And Paymay kind of, in a sense, verified that could be the case in some instances. In this race here, that could be the indication. And I'm surprised that we have not seen 2 medium stints as opposed to 2 soft stints. But again, you know, the soft tire motive is they're faster. But Paymay proved last night that the medium tire can be faster than the soft tire in some instances. And that 258 on medium tires held up for the duration of the race, because you have to think there was also all those pro drivers on the soft tires for 2/3 of that race, and nobody was unable to take that fast lap on that soft racing tires. So the medium tires potentially do have more pace than the soft tires here in the long run. And Tron Kobe has actually gotten around to Fast Ginger here, so we decided to come and check on this battle. Of course, we missed the passer by Tron Kobe, but we were just seeing some comments in the chat there saying, stay with Fast Ginger, he's your new slipstream best friend. But now I think that is the case for Fast Ginger here. He's in 4th place. Tron Kobe is almost at the distance where he's going to try and start to break that slipstream away from Fast Ginger. So now Fast Ginger's in the position of stay with Tron Kobe, because Tron Kobe needs to be your slipstream friend here now. And as these two continue to track on, this could actually work out really good for the two of them in a sense, because they still have 2 other racers ahead of them here as well on the grid. So if they want to take that big points here today, the big old 64 score, then they do need to come across that checkered flag in 1st position. So I don't foresee these two slowing up anytime soon, and if they can connect together, they have shown they're pretty equally paced here for the most part this season. Potentially could close that gap up with a little bit of work in a slipstream situation. So it'll be interesting to see how they play it out. But I tell you what, these pro-ams, like I said, they don't necessarily think like that, man. The pro-ams, they just come to race, and it is let the best racer win, and that seems to be the case in a lot of times here in the pro-am lobbies. That doesn't mean that there's not any respect or etiquette on the racetrack. It's just pro-ams, they come to race. That's just what they do. Alright, so Egon here, and Egon has 15.8 seconds, 15.9 seconds. Now, we've said this so many times this year. Sheriff has a big gap. He's looking good for the race win. Really, the race is in his control right now. We've also seen Sheriff make plenty of mistakes and give those gaps away. So, with that being said, this race is not even close to over yet, just as we pass the halfway mark. We have Tro and Kobe here in third place, and now the objective for Tro here is he's got the slipstream broke from Fast Ginger. Now he needs to try and start to track down the second place driver Egon here. So 2.5 seconds is the gap to second place racer Egon from Tro and Kobe. He's got a 2-second gap now over 10 tenths Fast Ginger, and as we get in through the second stint of this race, it is getting interesting as we've seen varying strategies from our racers, and definitely different pit stop times as well from a large part of the field. So you see 2 or 3 come in on this lap, 2 or 3 come in on this lap, 1 or 2 come in on this lap, and then the rest of the field come in on this lap. So this pit stop sequence almost spread out over a continuation of 3-4 laps here as well. So it's going to potentially definitely draw out some 3-stop strategies for some of these racers making such early pit stops here as well. Battling on softs killed him. You had better times on medium, says JP, one of our Pro Division drivers there last night. So kind of in the chat, basically confirming the same thing that we were just talking about with the fast lap being on the medium tires last night. And then we talk about the fast lap from the Pro Division being a 2:58.2 or 1. Team Razadam Cat just coming in with a smoker of a lap here around St. Croix C. He just dropped a 2:58.738. That is only half a second behind the fast lap that Paymay put down last night in the Pro Division. So just saying, that was a cooker of a lap here from Team Razadam Cat, and it seems like this boy is settling into this race here right now and really starting to apply some pressure here to fourth place competitor Fast Ginger. And right now he definitely wants to be ahead of Fast Ginger, as Fast Ginger is in behind the Damn Cat currently in the point standings here in the championship as well. So the Damn Cat definitely wanting to get this battle done and over with, so he can now try to focus on what he needs to do here today, and that is beat Tro and Kobe, because the Damn Cat cannot win this championship without finishing at least ahead of Tro and Kobe bare minimum here today. So there is a lot on the line for Fast Ginger, Tro and Kobe, and the Damn Cat here today. And then again, Superman there lingering in the background as well. So it really is still anybody's game. Egon also, I believe, lurking there in the background as well, fourth place or fifth place. So podium is important here tonight for the top 5 drivers in the point standings. Now the Damn Cat is made a mistake there. He's picked up some damage, so that's going to slow his roll here for a few corners around the racetrack, and that's going to try and allow Fast Ginger to try and open up a little bit of breathing room here on a TDC, but that didn't happen. TDC is all over the back end of the silver, orange, and blue car here right now as they come up this very long straightaway. It's going to be slipstream engaged here, and it is going to be the Damn Cat now moving up into fourth place as he does use the slipstream to get the position on Fast Ginger, but Fast Ginger on the outside under braking. Are we going to see an over-under attempt here from Fast Ginger? And oh my, a slide there from TDC, and oh, you hate to see that. And there was definitely no contact from our point of view there, but we are going to take a second look at that there, and I think just a little mistake under throttle there, and again, it's very hard to tell from that angle there, but very close quarters racing here between the two nonetheless, and unfortunately there for TDC, getting spun around, whether it be on his own there or a small amount of contact, and losing a position back to Fast Ginger, and again picking up damage. So now he's going to have to fight that for another 30 seconds around the racetrack, and he's going to have to fight with the dirty tires, and potentially seeing a little rhythm broken out there as well. Yeah, it's hard to tell from that camera angle. I don't think there was contact there either. I think that was just an error under exit there, just a little too much juice in the throttle there, and these cars are very torquey. Now, the Peugeot 908 HDI FAP, this is a 2010 edition car. This car is one of the varying factors of the LMP1 cars here in Gran Turismo 7. Now, typically with the prototype LMP1 cars in the Group 1 class, you will see some kind of electric boost or some kind of electric assist option that comes with these cars that gives them that extra horsepower. However, the Peugeot is is an all horsepower car. It does not have that electric motor assist. It does not have that hybrid boost system in it that we've seen from the other cars that we've raced this season. The Toyota GR10 hypercar, the Toyota TS150, the Audi R18 all had electric boost battery systems, which allowed them to get extremely quick acceleration out of corners as long as you had some of that boost built up in the battery. This Peugeot is all motor. It's got a turbo engine on it there. That's it. The turbo is what spools this car, and it's all motor. So it's all horsepower here for the Peugeot 908 HDI, and that means it has a ton of torque in the rear wheels. So the lower the gear and the higher RPM you are in this car when you are navigating around corners on the racetrack gives you a higher chance to make that mistake that I believe we've seen from the TTC Gaming there, the damn cat, just a few moments ago while battling with Fast Ginger. Just feeling the pressure a little bit, just wanted to try and get the power down early and just got a little too much on the power, and the turbo kicked in a little bit there and sent all that torque to the rear wheels. And of course tire degradation starting to factor in for our racers as well here as we're nearing our second pit stop sequence at this point. Just all those factors coming in, and a little bit of a miscue there from the damn cap, but still they're in the fight, still searching for a podium here tonight overall, and we're going to see another series of pit stops happening here as well. So we do have Sheriff here in first place. Now the gap was fairly significant here over the rest of the field. It was about 15 seconds, now down to 10. So Tyrone Colby has done some work here, and he looks like is now just battling with Ten Tenths Egon here. So position gain here from Tyrone Colby. It looks like we just missed that battle, so we do have it tagged. We're going to go take a quick look here. We're just seeing what Egon was going to pull in a response here. Again, just up the straightaway there, slingshot engaged, using the slipstream to get the little bit of extra speed on the car ahead, get up the inside position, and it was the over-under attempt to get the position back we seen from Egon there as Tyrone made the pass there. So we had just missed a pass for second place there from Tyrone Colby on Egon, and that was a great little pass there, nice little transition, great response there from Egon, but Tyrone Colby did everything he needed to do there, put the car on the inside apex of the following sequence of corners, and of course that did allow him to stay out ahead of Egon there. So Egon now falls down into P3 here, and it is a Team Razadam Cat 7.8 seconds in behind. So Ten Tenths Kilt now coming into pit lane here, so that second set of pit stops now starting to get underway. Oh, there we go. The 908 is a diesel as well. See, some information coming in from the chat as well. Some things we didn't actually know about the car. Is Fast Ginger here in 5th place. Cobra here in 6th position. So this is one of our AM drivers here. We've got Kilt again just making that pit stop. So he is the first of our racers to make that second pit stop here tonight. Now, we are definitely expecting to see 2 stops, but again, it is not out of the strategy window to see 3 stops here tonight as well. So Medic here in 9th position, and Bandit here in 10th place, and just a lap down now, I think, or just it's really close. Where is he at? I think he's just a lap down at this point. Alright, so 21 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the clock here, and Tyrone Colby has navigated his way all the way from 11th place. Now, he is our championship points leader, and it was a reverse grid based off championship point standing start here for our racers tonight. And why is that, you may ask, if you're just tuning in? Well, it's a double points round, so we decided that when we do double points rounds here, it is always going to be a reverse grid based off championship point standings, and that means that our top dogs, our faster drivers of the season, gotta fight and earn their way to that podium in the finale and those big juicy points. So it adds a little bit of extra intensity, and it adds a lot more pressure to our championship points go-getters. And I think at the end of the day that challenge for our point leaders in all of the divisions, it's not like that just in one division, it's across the board like that here. I think that challenge only adds more experience under their belts, and having to deal with that pressure and maybe make some tough calls on the fly in these pressure situations only continues to improve their racecraft and their ability to handle more intense situations like that moving forward in the future. So it's a little bit of a teaching experience and a learning experience, but mainly it is to just add some intensity at the end of the season and really make our championship points leaders earn those trophies. I mean, right? We want them to earn them. So, but I tell you, you know, it's typical. We see these drivers, we see our points leaders always seem to just navigate their way through, and eventually by the end of the race, they're up there giving us a show. So we shouldn't expect anything different here tonight already. Fast Ginger, the Damn Cat, and Tro and Kobe have navigated up into the top half of the pack, and those are the three that we're really kind of keeping our eyes on for that overall championship here tonight. Superman here in 8th place, with Medic chasing in 9th, and Bandit here in 10th position, down one driver early on here. So the gap is closing very quickly here. It was 10, now it's 4.5. I feel like another one of those small mistakes was made here by our race leader. We just didn't see it this time. And, I mean, 6 seconds just dripped away here in the course of lap number 14 here to Tro and Kobe. I mean, this man does not need any other incentive to push harder to try and get the race lead away. But now it's been given to him. He's got a 3-second gap. He can see the race leader again, and that just gets drivers amped up, gets the adrenaline flowing, and it is go time when you know, hey, I'm catching this guy. Let's go get him. So Tro and Kobe here now can see the race leader. Let's see if he can track in and close up the gap here. But again, we're getting right near those pit stops as well. So good timing for Sheriff Doofy to have Tro closing in on him here as pit stop sequence is about to start happening. We're about to find out, but it is TDC Gaming here, Team Raz the Damn Cat. He's 10.9 seconds in behind Tro, and he's 13.4 in behind the race leader, meaning he's gained a couple of seconds on the race leader here in the stint now as well. Fast Ginger here in 4th place. He's 3.3 seconds in behind TDC Gaming, or Team Raz the Damn Cat here right now, and he's opened up a pretty good gap there to the middle part of the field. So he's kind of in no man's land here right now. We've got Dark Cobra here in 5th with Egon in 6th. And again, this is after some pit stops are starting to be made here. Some drivers have pit, some have not. Kilt here pit a lap or two ago, if I'm not mistaken. We got Superman coming into pit lane here right now. Medic is going to stay out and continue to track around the racetrack here. And then we've got Bandit here in 10th position, and has Kilt just coming up around him here right now. And a very tough sector there to be dealing with that blue flag situation. But look at those two go. And oh, Bandit just getting caught out there, by the slipstream there. And that was that's a big hit there, as he's going to get that thing moving back in the right direction there. But oh boy, that was a pretty good sequence by the two there. And I was going to say, that's how you do it without costing any time in a very difficult technical sector. But unfortunately there, for our boy Bandit, they're just making that mistake and getting a hard hit into the wall there. So he's going to back that car up and make sure that it's still moving and functioning properly. And then again, with the pit stops happening here real quick, that team will assess that nose of that race car once they're in pit lane. So it is Sheriff now coming into the race lead. Tro and Kobe is going to follow him in. So it's TDC Gaming here now coming around. He's got 11.5 seconds. He will take the position from the race leaders if he stays on track, and it does not appear to be that way. He's coming into pit lane here as well. So now what is Ginger going to do? Ginger's going to continue around the track here. So he needs to really open up a gap here if he's going to make this overcut work. If he's planning on coming in next time around, essentially when you're trying an overcut strategy, you really need your in lap to be your best lap on the racetrack. So right now, if that's Ginger's plan, this needs to be his fastest lap of the race right now for him to really take full advantage of an overcut strategy, because 9 times out of 10 the undercut just seems to always work out better, because then that driver does catch up or closes in on the driver that just came out of pit lane. They've got some heat in their tires, they got their tires scrubbed in a little bit, and just as we say that, we got Egon just getting around TDCs. He's coming out of pit lane there, so drivers having to navigate in a pit lane exit situation, but handle that like pros. So typically the undercut works because the driver on the undercut strategy has a little bit of scrubbed in tires, and they have a little bit of air pressure built up into racing tires, as opposed to the driver coming out of pit lane just put on completely ice cold racing rubber and is potentially on a heavy load of fuel as well, has had no time to scrub those tires in, so they're going to be very slippery. So it can create an interesting situation sometimes. So the overcut, to make the overcut work, you really do need to have an absolute flawless flying in lap. So when I say in lap, that means the lap that you're planning on making your pit stop in, because they call that the in lap because you're not actually coming across the start finish line on the racing surface. Essentially, you're coming across the start finish line in pit lane, and that creates an in and an out lap situation. So when you come out of pit lane, we call it an out lap because it's the same situation. You're coming out not at raised pace on the other side of the start finish line, or just coming across it, depending where your pit stall is, obviously in pit lane. And so yeah, that kind of is what creates that as well. But fuel, the amount of fuel these racers are taking in this last pit stop, obviously tires, the drivers will most likely be taking tires. We've seen some pretty heavy tire wear here from the field, and Trone does come out ahead of Sheriff here after this pit stop sequence, as those two have now made their what I'm assuming is last pit stops of the race. Dark Cobra, who's currently sitting in third place in between the two racers right now, has yet to make another pit stop. Now, whether or not Sheriff is aware of that in behind Cobra, okay, we lost the name there for a second. Will, I guess, kind of determine on how he approaches this little situation here. Now, we're getting near the end of the lap here too, so he isn't really close enough to just try and make a move on Dark Cobra, so he may just be buying his time there, and we'll try to get a good charge out of the final corner and hope that potentially maybe Dark Cobra is planning on making a pit stop. We got Shane coming in with that like and that share on Facebook as well. Hope you're doing good, my dude. Appreciate that. So there we go, our race leader now coming into pit lane. So Fast Ginger has made his pit stop to cap a 17.7 seconds to Trone Kobe. That's definitely not going to be enough to maintain the racing lead from pit stop here. And it's Dark Cobra and Sheriff here now as they come around the final corner as well. Dark Cobra is planning on making a pit stop there, so that is why he kind of just slowed up as much as he could there to try not to interfere with the line of Sheriff, because he was obviously intending on making a pit stop. It didn't make sense for him to try and hold up Sheriff Doofy there while trying to make a pit stop, and then if Sheriff wasn't maybe aware that he was planning on pitting this lap, then that just didn't create any potential incident there. So that was a good call there from Cobra, just to keep it right and tight, play it safe there, make sure he gets into pit line, and hopefully gets in without penalty as well. You don't want to cross the pit line and get that 3-second infraction penalty. That definitely will hurt here at St. Croix, high-speed racetrack, and 3 seconds losing race pace is never good when you are in a finale battle for championships and podium positions and everything in between. So it is TDC Gaming here in fourth place, and Fast Ginger came out right on his rear bumper here. So fourth and fifth place, these two are definitely not strangers with each other here this season, and it is, well, battle on for the next 4 to 5 laps here between those two, I would imagine. Dark Cobra, after his pick, comes out in behind Fast Ginger in 6th place. That has Kilt now in 7th position here and behind Dark Cobra, and carrying a little bit of front end damage on his racing car here right now. So a little bit of a struggle there at some point for Kilt, and that has set him back a little bit of positioning time-wise for sure on the racetrack, maybe even positional-wise as well. We're not sure what happened there. We didn't see what happened or the extent of the time lost, but currently sitting in behind Dark Cobra in 7th place. We have Superman here in 9th place, and we've got Bandit here in 10th position here. So there we go. Just a little bit of a blue flaggy situation happening there, and a mistake made by Medic there as he just navigates around Bandit there in the blue flag situation, and then makes the mistake after getting around Bandit there. So now he's going to close back in on Bandit there, and Bandit's just letting him go through here. Nope, he's going to make the pit stop there. So Bandit is going to continue on. Now Bandit did make the pit stop there just a lap ago, it looks like, based on the scrub on his tires there. Did Trone cut the pit lane line? I don't know. Did he have a penalty? I didn't notice. I didn't see a 3-second penalty to the best of my recollection, so I believe that he did not cut the pit line. We were just saying that they definitely don't want to cut the pit line because it's a 3-second penalty. So 2.4 seconds separates Sheriff and Trone Kobe. The only difference is the amount of fuel that the racers took in that pit stop here between the two of them. And I think that pit difference is also why we see Tyrone Kobe up in the lead now. Now, Tyrone Kobe did take a little less fuel than the chasing driver in behind him there as well. So how much less, I'm not going to say. Viewers can see for themselves, and it's just for the sake of fair play because some of the races do listen to the broadcast while it's happening. But it is Egon here in third place, and he has, again, TDC Gaming still chasing him down here in fourth position. But right now, Egon is Trone's best friend as well as Sheriff Doofy, because that is 2 cars in between Tyrone Kobe and the Damn Cat, and the Damn Cat is second place overall, chasing Tyrone Kobe here for this championship, and can't take it away from him if he can get a couple cars ahead of him here at the end of the day and pick up the big win points as well. So it is not Tyrone's to walk away with here today. It can definitely change hands here by the end of the night, and we have yet to factor in drop rounds this season as well. So when we go and put in those drop rounds into the standings here as this week progresses towards the weekend, that's going to change everything. I believe that this Pro-Am division is a lot tighter than we think, based off of how we set the grid up and the overall standings, because we have not factored in the drop round yet. So each driver has an idea, obviously, what their drop round is and where that's going to leave them for points, but it is a lot closer than I think that a lot of the racers potentially realize, and everybody watching at home. This division is extremely close, and it is definitely up for grabs tonight. Oh no, we got the Damn Cat getting it wrong there. He is facing the wrong way on the racetrack as Fast Ginger gets around him there, and that is what Fast Ginger needs right now too, as well, as he is third place in the championship point standings, and he needs to finish ahead of both Tyrone Kobe and the Damn Cat in this race to try and win the championship here tonight. So one job right now currently with a check mark on it is, okay, I'm ahead of the Damn Cat. Unfortunate that it went down like that, but at the end of the day, he's still ahead of TDC Gaming here. So let's see if we can see what happened to TDC there. He's just coming around the corner there, and I think we missed it. If we'll see if we caught it. Yep, we missed it. All right, unfortunate there, but I'm sure he doesn't want to see his spin there replayed anyways. But it is Dark Cobra here in 6th place, 12 seconds behind, with Kilt 11 seconds in behind our AM leader. Superman here is in behind Kilt, and about a minute and a half in behind Kilt here, but has Medic closing back in on him here a little bit as well. So potentially one of the best races of the season here for Medic actually is in our finale here as well. He seems to be handling the track very well here today, as he's been very racy there with Superman at points in time on the racetrack as well. And Superman is Pro-Am division here this season, not having his best A-game race here today, but he's still out there, man. He's still giving it everything that car has got. It's been a tough season. These cars have been drove for many miles. They've been worked on very rigorously. They've been tested very rigorously from these racers. These cars are definitely ready to go back home to the shops, get some TLC, get some new parts, get some new fluids, get shined up a little bit, and have a little break, because they've been working hard all season long. Egon here in the 3rd position, and he's got 5.2 seconds currently over teammate Fast Ginger here right now. So Fast Ginger has about 6.5 minutes to try and close in on that final podium position here. And he's got 9.2 second gap over Team Raz the Damn Cat right now as well. So Ginger is in a good position to potentially leapfrog for 2nd place overall here in the championship. But right now, with Tyrone Kobe leading the race, he is looking to lock down his championship here tonight, as we are winding down to the checkered flag. 6 minutes to go, basically 2 laps from the point to where the drivers are at here right now. Kilt is in 7th position, with Medic now up into 8th position here. We have Superman in 9th place, and we got Bandit rocking and rolling on the bridge in 10th position. A little bit of damage on the front end of that car. Potential little issue there again with Bridge Hill maybe. But 10 of our 11 drivers still got their cars on the road to finish off this season here, and it is this man right here who has really stepped up over the last, I want to say, over the last 9 to 10 months of racing, not only this series but other championships throughout the communities as well. Tyrone Kobe has just continued to improve. You know, we were pushing on him and pressing his buttons a little bit over over the last couple of years with other communities when we were talking to him in interviews, asking him when he was going to be ready for that pro division, when you're ready for that pro division, when you're ready for that pro division. He kept saying he's not ready. He doesn't think his pace is there. I think he's ready. I mean, his pace has been great all season long. He is having some great battles here with his Pro-Am division. And would he beat the pros in a straight-up race right now? Entirely hard to say. Racing is racing. You just never know what's going to happen. But I think that he really has come a absolute long ways over the last, I mean, I'm going to say 16 months. It is really night and day in the pace and consistency and how to handle pressure-filled situations here for Tyrone Kobe, and we're definitely proud to see how well and how far he's come along here over the last little while in his sim racing career. And you know, all of our racers have come a long ways from the first time we started broadcasting and racing with them and watching them. But you know, there's just some of those racers that really seem to stand out at times there, and Tyrone is one of those racers currently right now that really stands out for me in the community and for his progress in his racing. So he's shown it here again tonight. He came all the way from the back of the pack. He's got a 3.2 second lead. He's been battling hard to try and close down Sheriff all race long, and some little mistakes made by Sheriff along the way. Some good pit strategy here from Tyrone Kobe. Currently has him 4 minutes away from his championship here. So no matter what happens here for Tyrone Kobe tonight, wherever he finishes up, in my opinion, he should be very proud of himself. And it's been an absolutely spectacular season. It's some very difficult race cars as well. So very, very good performance this season from Tyrone Kobe, no matter how this race finishes for him. And we definitely had our eyes on Tyrone Kobe for quite some time, watching his progression. And he's really, really stepped up his racing, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this man. It's absolutely incredible to see how quickly the team game has changed the face of racing here in sim racing, not just GT7 but all the platforms. Now that we're seeing that team aspect start to really play a big role in sim racing, we're not seeing championships ran with a bunch of individual drivers like we were 4 or 5 years ago. Now we're seeing leagues and championships being ran with drivers that used to be independent drivers, now racing with other organizations, other sim racing teams, other groups. And I think that team aspect of the sim racing community has really helped change how well the racing has become as well in these situations. And this is why we see all of this great racing, because the racers enjoy the clean, safe racing environment, and that's what's allowing the racers to continue to get better and then test what they've learned in those open daily race lobbies and manufactured cup championships and nation cup racing and stuff like that, because it's very unpredictable in those types of lobbies. So the experience that all the racers gain from this kind of racing really just refines them in those situations and allows them to have more confidence driving around random racers, but also have confidence in their ability to make the pass when they need to and defend when they need to as well. So it is fantastic to see. It's been a long season for all our racers, but it's been a lot of fun to watch the progression of all our drivers here as well. Sheriff, I mean, we don't know much about Sheriff. He's new to the community, but he's definitely got some pace, and he looks good here again tonight. And 4.5 seconds from Tyrone Kobe right now to get on the top of the podium, but he does have 13 seconds over the next podium finisher here right now currently, who is Ten Tenths Egon. Now he's just worked his way around Bandit there, who's in 10th position, and Egon has 5 seconds over 10 tenths Fast Ginger here right now with just 1:19 left on the clock. So things are shaping up to be about where they're at here, unless something drastic happens over the next lap here from any one of the races in our field. We're about looking at our finishing order here, it looks like. So the race definitely spread out a little bit. Oof, Superman is just having a tough day out here today at the racetrack as well. So we're going to keep our eye on Tyrone. So Tyrone has just gotten across the start-finish line. He is going to go ahead and start lap number 20 here. Sheriff is going to come around. He's also going to get that last final lap. Egon's coming through there. He's heading into turn number 1. He's got Fast Ginger 4 seconds in behind, so a little bit of a mistake potentially maybe there from Egon. He gave up a second on Fast Ginger there as we head into turn number 2. We have the Damn Cat's going to get around. He's got 29 seconds left on the clock, so he is going to get another lap here. So is Dark Cobra as he comes up the racetrack here. And this is our AM division leader here today with 18 seconds left on the clock as he comes across. Where is Ten Tenths Kilt here? Kilt is going to be the first of our racers here to finish our race today, and it is going to be on lap number 19 here. So the timer has officially come to an end here on the Prototype Championship season. The racers now have 3 minutes on the clock to get around the racetrack and take that checkered flag. And if they do not get to the checkered flag before that 3-minute clock runs out, they will be scored based off the position on the racetrack where the timer officially ran out. But here in this race tonight, I don't think that is going to be much of an issue, as again, unless bearing a big mistake here at this point in the race from one of the racers, we should be seeing our finishing order here as the racers come around. So we have Medic here in 8th place, and I'm just going to check to see where exactly in comparison Trone is in comparison to Medic. Actually, I think Trone is ahead of Medic by 2 positions, so we do have Trone and Sheriff here just ahead of Medic here, so we're going to stick on with Trone. And Sheriff is there. He's in the distance. You can see him just off in the background there as well. So easy to spin these cars. Very easy to spin these cars. I agree, 420R. Alright, so it is Trone here, and he's going to be the next driver to take the checkered flag. Now, the reason why we're seeing drivers take the checkered flag out of sequence, in a sense, is because we're not on a designated lap-counted race. This is a timed race, so if you get across the start-finish line, there's 2 seconds left on the clock, that means you're going to get another lap. But if you come across the finish line and that clock is dead in water and they're waving a checkered flag, you don't get to go around another time. That's it. Your race is over. So it all just depends on how your race went and the pace of the lobby. So in this case, our top 6 got the extra lap and the remainder of the field did not. That doesn't change the fact that it was still a good race here tonight. And there's some pretty good drives here from all of our racers as well. But it is going to be THG's Trone Kobe to win our finale here tonight. And that win will secure his championship title here for the Pro-Am division. Congratulations, Trone Kobe. Sheriff Doofy's going to come around strong finish to his season, 2nd place there, and it's going to be interesting to see where that puts him in the overall finish on the season, see if that got him to where he was hoping to get here before the end of the season. And it is going to be Ten Tenths Egon to take the final podium position here in our finale tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see where that places him, as he's in the top 5 there trying to get on the overall podium. Ten Tenths Fast Ginger is going to bring it across here in 4th place. It's not enough to beat Trone Kobe here tonight, but it is enough to finish ahead of TDC's The Damn Cat. Now, it is only 1 position ahead of The Damn Cat, so I don't know if it's going to be enough for Fast Ginger to overtake The Damn Cat for 2nd place overall, but Bandit finishing there in 10th with The Damn Cat coming across there in 5th place. And it's going to be Dark Cobra here coming across 6th place overall and 1st place overall for the AM division here tonight, and that will secure his championship here as well this season. So Medic here in 8th position, Superman finishing there in 9th place. Tough night there for some of our racers here on a very tough racetrack, but congratulations to all the racers here this season. And the Pro-Am split division here this season had a grand total of 21 drivers, with substitute drivers on backup here scheduled and registered this season as well. So we had lots of racers here this season, which kept the grids nice and decently full all season long, and definitely left us with lots of things to talk about throughout 10 weeks of racing, 2 nights a week. So great job to all of our racers here. Congratulations to all of our racers here tonight. Let's get some screenshots of those results here, but it is Trone Kobe with the race win here tonight. Sheriff Doofy will take 2nd position. Egon in 3rd place. It's going to be Ten Tenths Fast Ginger in 4th position, and Team Rad's The Damn Cat there in 5th place. But he is going to steal the bonus point from the field here with a blazing lap, a 2:58.738. And if he's not happy with his race finish here today, he should at least be very satisfied with that lap. That was a very good lap here around St. Croix C. Dark Cobra there in 6th place will secure the AM division win here today and his championship as well. Ten Tenths Kilt in 7th position. We have Medic here in 8th place. We have RA Superman here in 9th position. Bandit there in 10th, and Scary Guy there very early behind pit wall here today, but that's racing, ladies and gentlemen, and that unfortunately concludes the championship. But we still got podium interviews, so don't run away just yet, as we're going to talk to our AM winner and our top 3 finishers here tonight. And that just so happens that we're also going to talk to our championship winners here tonight as well. So even barring stewarding and official results here, unless one of the drivers made a big mistake and made a boo-boo with the tire infractions here in this race, and to the best of my knowledge and what I remember here, it looked like every driver was good on those tire mandates here today. Tron Kobe will be our champion here in Pro-Am. I don't even need to do the math on that now, but even with the drop round, like I said, it is going to be a lot closer than it is right now, but it should be Tron Kobe taking it out and securing in another championship here. So he's on a bit of a roll right now, Tron Kobe, eh? Tell you what, congratulations. Doing another great job here this season, and man, oh man, look out for Tron Kobe in the future. That's all I gotta say. All right. All right, so we're going to share that. That way there, our racing officials can get a hold of the replay and do their review, so we can start working on all those official standings, so we can get those announcements out, so we can talk about our all-star race, and we can get everything set up. That was intense, says Fast Ginger. Congrats, everybody. Good job, everybody. That was a great race. All right, so let's do some podium interviews. You just got to bear with me here. I got to jump into the Discord server here, and then I got to get into the podium interview chat room, and then we can talk with our drivers. So just sit tight here for one moment, ladies and gentlemen. But absolutely great race right there, and started off very fiery. But again, you know, the track really made the difference here again tonight. Much like it did last night in the pro division as well. So tough racing here at St. Croix C. But I mean, our racers did a great job. They always do a great job. They always have a great understanding of what's at stake and what's going on. So we got all kinds of drivers to talk to here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So you ready? I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I think we're going to make Dark Cobra sit tight here tonight. I think we're going to go ahead and talk with our third and second place overall finishers here, and then we will move ahead and go talk with our 2 champions. So again, we didn't have that championship discussion with our potential championship points leader in our pro division last night because sorry, the guys are just checking in Discord here. I know I'm on mute, guys. Just a second here. All right. That was interesting. All right. So we have the guys in the podium interviews. And I mean, obviously, tough racing out there. 60-minute battle. Lots of points on the line. Lots at stake. The guys are amped up. So without further ado, let's not make them wait, right? Let's go talk with our championship driver, shall we? All right. All right, guys, I know I was muted. It's okay. So we have all 4 of our drivers here ready to talk with us. And normally we would start with our AM winner here tonight. But again, like I was saying, as the drivers couldn't hear me because I was muted to them, we are going to actually skip our AM winner here tonight. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our third and second place finishers overall here tonight. So we're going to go ahead and talk with our third place finisher, Ten Tenths Egon. And St. Croix C, absolutely tough racetrack, high-speed racetrack. Final race of the season, huge points on the line. You're in the fight for a potential overall podium this season still. And well, I mean, what's going through your mind to start with before coming into the race? And then you get out there and you have a really fantastic race. It was a racy race for you here tonight. And at the end of the night, you're standing on that final podium position here. So congratulations on a great performance here tonight. And talk us through how it was for you.
Technical tracks and fast ones like that. I think tonight was it was definitely a strategy race. We were just working overcuts and undercuts today. Fuel played again a little bit of a factor Some of us had shorter pit stops than others, but overall, I love this track. I actually remember this track as being one of my favorites. A couple of years ago, back, Ghost was commentating my final race in one of these same track, and I love this place. It gives me great memories. And tonight was an awesome race. I mean, amazing drivers who have around. Everybody's pushing each other. I made two little mistakes, but thankfully they only cost me maybe a couple seconds. That wasn't enough for me to lose any positions. But great race. And I congratulate all the races ahead of me, behind me. I mean, you guys are a great bunch, clean racing, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, I'm sweating bullets here. Good race it was.
Absolutely. And the start of the season it did not get off necessarily on the right foot for you here this season. You had a shaky start. You were having a little bit maybe of a tough time kind of getting in that rhythm and staying in that rhythm for the whole duration of the race. And then it seemed like at about round 7, everything just kind of settled in. Everything just kind of kicked in, and you found that rhythm. You found that
Yeah.
racing mojo, and really started to have some great performances here near the end of the season. So I guess with that being said, you feel if you would have maybe got off just to a slightly a little bit of a quicker jump start in that rhythm and that motion, do you think that maybe
Yeah.
you would have been there battling for that overall championship here this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Ghost. I had three races that I can say they could be, throw ups. Um, and I know the reasons. I mean, I had some personal problems in the last few months, but that affected a little bit my time and the time that I could dedicate for practice. And as you know, here you got to put a little bit of practice, otherwise you'll be in the back. These guys are super fast. So yeah, I had a slow start to the season. I was almost writing it off, but no, I never give up. So despite the fact that I have probably three throwaway races, the other ones are quite good, and I'm happy with it. I think it has to do also with equipment. During the season, I changed my wheels. I just got a new set of wheels recently, so it took me quite a while to adapt to it and to get the equipment and adapt myself to the equipment. And of course, that's on top of having VR already, which is a blessing in some cases, but complicated in some other areas. So overall, I'm happy. I'm super happy, Ghost. It was a good race, and yeah, if I had one or two more races, I'll be fighting for the top on this with these guys a little closer. But again, they're tough racers.
Absolutely, and I mean, yeah, definitely one of the better performances here from you this season. And yeah, there was. Let's talk about that. We have two VR2 drivers in our pro division, and we didn't actually really have a lot of. We touched base with Miss Devious a little bit while we talked to her for her second place performance last night. But you're the only VR2 driver here in this particular split or this division, this lobby. What are the challenges of having to adapt to the VR2 and the LMP1 cars? Now, we had a little bit of information coming from the pro division that the big thing was visibility. So, do you think that is a little more of a challenge for VR drivers to have to overcome coming
Yeah,
into league
yeah,
racing in comparison
yeah. I do
to
believe
the
so.
ones? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, Ghost. I don't believe the A pillar right in front of me to the right, let's say, sometimes in certain cars, is a total problem, especially in VR. And if you really immerse yourself in VR and use it to your advantage, you can actually move your head forward or backwards to be able to look at the apex like you would do in a real life car. So in a way, no, I wouldn't put the VR as a disadvantage when it comes to visibility. Now, two factors go. One is, yeah, the change of cars.
We lost him there for a moment again. We always seem to lose him during interviews at one point. Poor guy.
Happening
Oh, there he
on the
is.
track. So the changes of the moves are complicated, but and I think too. I mean, VR is always difficult as we really don't have a good notion of what's going around us. So, but despite that, it's an amazing tool. It's a good tool to have some fun. I'll take my opportunity here just to thank you, Ghost. You put an amazing series together. You are an amazing content creator. We've been racing together, and we've known each other for many years. I'd like to thank you personally for all the effort, for all the hours, sleepless hours that you put here for this league. And we want more of this. We can do amazing things ahead. So with that said, I may as well thank my teammates, TT, Ten Tenths Racing, of course, TT Racing, amazing group, amazing guys. You got amazing drivers and instructors. So thank you to all of you. I don't want to miss any of you. You guys are awesome. And also, to the sponsors. And of course, I'd like to especially dedicate this to my mom, Maria Helena, Mama, Beijos, and to my wife, Giselle, who's also watching this. So love you both. And bring some more Ghost. I would like to race again next series. Thank you.
Cheers. Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words, and congratulations on a really great racing season. Like I said, started off a little slow, but boy, did he go and finish off strong here this season, and looking good for the next championship, of course, which we'll talk about a little bit here at the end of our broadcast here tonight. We got a few things we want to go over here before we shut down tonight, but right now it is definitely about our amazing racers that have put on such a great performance here for us at home and wherever it is where we like to hang out and watch from on the racetrack every week. They put in hours. They talk about how many hours that we put in here behind the scenes, the staff, myself, the drivers put in just as much time behind the scenes to prepare just to race the way they race for everybody watching at home as well. So thank you to all the racers for coming out and just giving it 110% every single day, no matter what's happening, because that's why we get such great racing action every single week here. Let's talk to Sheriff Doofy. This man would have been in the discussion without a question of a doubt this season if he would have been here right at the beginning of the season to be challenging for that overall championship title here. And he, again, tonight looked very good. He made a massive move right at the beginning of the race, found himself right out in the early lead, and the little bit of early battling from the pack allowed him to start to open up the gap. But the one chink in the armor of Sheriff here this season has been just those tiny little mistakes throughout his race. And tonight, I think that was exactly the case for him here again. And Tro and Kobe did just edge him out here by just a few seconds at the end of the day. But boy, I tell you what, this man is looking real great on the racetrack, and he was a fantastic competitor here in this Pro-Am division this season, coming in halfway through the season. Congratulations on a beautiful finale race. And I know you had a pretty big goal in mind here to try and get up into the top 5 before the end of the season, even starting so late in the season. So you had a really great performance here tonight. You picked up some massive points with that double points around, and the big move early in the race really set you up to do that. Talk us through how your night was.
Tonight was quite frustrating. Like, first stint, I was doing exactly what I planned on doing, just trying to get out, get going quick in front, try to break that toe as quickly as possible because that back straight is so long and the slipstream is so potent there where it's very hard. But I actually had to fuel save pretty much every stint except for the last. So fortunately for myself, I was able to build that gap up in order to have me do that. But I just couldn't, in the last stint or so, I just couldn't continue the rhythm that I had and just struggled to put in the clean laps that I was doing earlier in the race. Could have been like this, the fatigue of going for an hour. I'm not too sure, but it was definitely frustrating just watching that lead just absolutely collapse. I mean, credit to Prone, he drove a great race and tracked me down as what he's been doing all year or all season. And I just kind of wish that some mistakes I made and decisions in the process just didn't happen. But that's racing, and definitely would take a second place. But I just know that first was definitely in my sights, and it was just kind of a disappointing second place, unfortunately.
Well, nonetheless, I mean, it's tough racing out there. I mean, we totally understand where you're coming from. You seem to be in command and in control, and then that's not exactly how everything wraps up with the checkered flag waves. But I mean, you cannot take away from the simple fact is you have such incredible pace out there, and you really are out here to race and compete with these guys and really test yourself against these guys. So I mean, the little mistakes and the little faux pas and going back and watching the replays and finding out maybe what contributed to breaking that rhythm. Maybe the wind had changed. Maybe something had changed on the racetrack that you just didn't pick up on the racetrack, and that caused a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling in the car. It could be a number of things, but the best thing that the racers can definitely do is just review that replay. And another reason why to keep the replay is just go back the next day or 2 days later and just review the race. Go to points in the race where you think maybe you did something wrong or you could have done better. Go watch a couple other racers go through that sector and watch what they did, and just pick those pieces together. And then, of course, you take that into your next set of races or your next championship, and you have just a little bit more education in your mind and a little bit more to sit on and chew on, so to speak, while you're running into similar racing situations in the future. And I mean, it's all a part of racing, I mean, it just does not take away from the fact that you would have been in this discussion all season long here if you would have been here right from the beginning of the season, irregardless of little mistakes costing positions here and there. And I really, you had a competitive field very worried. I was having conversations with some of the racers and behind the scenes in the paddock after your second race of the season here into the competition, and a lot of the competition that was fighting here tonight for the championship was really glad that you were here at the beginning of the season, because it would have just been another driver to add to that overall fight at the end of the season. So frustrated, maybe yourself, but at the same time, I think there is a ton of positive to take out of the half a season you got here, and you came into a very quick group of Pro-Am drivers and really showed that you could be there and race with them. So I mean, it's just nothing but upwards and forwards in the future, and I really can't wait to see what you're going to bring to other communities and hopefully our community in the future as well, as you continue your league racing career. But I mean, is LMP1 cars something that you're very used to racing, or is this something that was kind of new for you this season?
Um, I actually only really started playing Grand Theft just this year, January. So I was just kind of hoping to get involved in more racing like situations and try to hone my racecraft a little bit more. But I've mostly been racing in the daily racing, like Group 3 cars. So these LMP1s are pretty much brand new to me, but I like to go fast, and these cars offer the best opportunity. So, and they were a lot of fun to race, and hopefully there's more of this in the future, because I'd definitely be right back here in the seat racing, hopefully from the beginning of the season, though.
Absolutely. And I mean, with all those things just being said, the fact that you've only been at this for roughly about a year, you should be very proud of yourself. You're showing very incredible pace. I mean, you are already on the bubble of being into a lot of pro divisions in a lot of different communities here in championships throughout the GT7 circuits. So don't be too hard on yourself. Make sure you give yourself some good props and a good pat on the back, because you are performing very well for the short amount of experience you have. Keep getting in mind that racers like Tron Kobe, Superman, Fast Ginger have been racing for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So when you look at it that way, you are definitely right there, and you are definitely a feisty racer. We love to see you on track. So overall, are you happy with how you performed this season, and overall happy with how everything went?
I would say so. I mean, I'm gonna look back on this one and be like, what if? But I mean, I can't complain. In 5 races, I have 4 podiums and a 4th place. So, and I've been very competitive as far as individual lap times go with the top guys in the Pro-Am division and even some of the mid-pack of the Pro division. So that's something to look forward to. But I definitely work going forward. I definitely hope to get more seat time and just practice with everything that's going on, and just try to limit the small mistakes that I have and see how far that can propel me forward in the standings.
Well, the sky is the limit for each and every one of the racers here that were on the grid this season, and it's no different for yourself. So you just keep pushing, my man. You keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Just got to keep putting in that seat time, and the more seat time you get, those small mistakes start to slowly disappear. But you talk to any even of the top division drivers from the pro division, I mean, they make mistakes all the time, those little mistakes all the time as well. So it is a par for the course. It's all in how you handle those little mistakes while on the racetrack that really matters. And and any pro driver will most certainly pass that tidbit of advice to any other driver around there. So I'll pass it along to our racers and viewers watching at home. But it's been a fantastic season. It's been a lot of fun watching the race. I know that the rest of the drivers have had a lot of fun racing against you, and it's been a great competition here. So congratulations on a very hard fought half a season here, doing very well in the standings. And any final remarks and shout outs to the viewers watching at home?
Just appreciate your whole community just accepting me in, putting the time and effort to help me get into this situation, and credit to you for doing all the work that you've done for this series. It's been absolutely fantastic to come in and just see the camaraderie between all the racers, regardless of the division that we're in. But just appreciate you guys coming out, watching us put on the best show we can.
Absolutely, and I always say on the broadcast, lots of times I say on the broadcast, the Pro-Am's always the best division, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen, because they just come to race, and we definitely seen that here again tonight. And a hard-fought battle, maybe not the desired spot you were looking for here tonight, but still the second step on the podium overall, and a really great race finish to a great racing season for you. So congratulations, and can't wait to see what you have for us in the next champ coming in a few weeks' time, and we'll let you get back, go celebrate with that great team in behind the scenes.
Awesome. Have a great night.
Sheriff Doofy, everybody, coming in from Sim League Pro here to join our championship season this season, halfway through the season, and boy, oh boy, he would have put that pressure on those front runners this season. I tell you what, he is a fantastic driver, a fantastic competitor, and it was a pleasure to have him on board here with the Winner's Circle community and our racing community. But now let's go talk to some champions, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? They've had some time to sit, they've had some time to stew and think about it, maybe calm down a little bit now. So let's go start with Dark Cobra. Dark Cobra came into the season, he qualified in the AM division. I know this driver from another organization, a group from the past, and typically in the cars that he drives around by choice normally, he's quite pacey, and so I made the call to put him in the Pro-Am division and seeing how the first races go, and he did show that he was very unfamiliar with the LMP1 cars. We put him down where he qualified in the AM division as per our mandatory driver check that we do after round 2. We always check the pace of every driver, make sure that if we need to make any adjustments like that, we of course approach the driver and teams involved, and we make that decision by round 3. So we decided to put Cobra down in the AM division, and then he got stepped into the community. He got working with the racers and the group behind the scenes, and just showed massive improvement race by race by race by race. Started putting a lot of pressure on the mid-pack of that Pro-Am division, and by the end of the season finds himself winning the finale here for the AM division, and also can now call himself a GT45 prototype AM champion. So congratulations on all those things. Pretty incredible race here for you tonight. It was lots of racing and just lots of just trying to keep up and trying to close gaps up here for you right in that 6th, 7th place position for the most part tonight. But you came in starting off a little bit slow and a little bit tough, and it finished off absolutely strong, and now holding the trophy above your head, so to speak, for the AM division. So congratulations. Talk us through your night, my man.
Okay, let me take a breath. Thanks, GT. I really appreciate it. The first lap was chaotic a little bit from the mid-pack back. Everybody kind of tightened up around turn 2. So I know everybody was like trying to stay out of everyone's way. So by mid-track, I think we had all spread out and got some room and whatnot, and so I just kind of tried to settle in and warm up the tires a little bit and just try to keep the pace and keep moving forward and, doing the best that I could to just stay where I was at. I would have liked to have been a couple of places higher, and on that third stint, I really started to push. Just not enough time left in the race to really get up there and make a charge towards 5th or 4th.
Absolutely, but I mean, like we were saying there in our little pre-question blip there, you came into the season and it got placed in the Pro-Am division, and we felt like, that's where you belong. And then we realize that you're still learning with the LMP1 cars and all those things. So compared to the start of the season now to the end of the season, 10 weeks later, how much more comfortable do you feel with the Group 1 class? I guess first and foremost, and are you more so a fan of high downforce cars than you were coming into the season, or are you still kind of right about the same feeling with the high downforce cars?
I absolutely love them now. Uh, Having to practice regularly with a track and a car, especially a car that I knew nothing about, uh, they are they are fantastic. They're a lot of fun. They're quick. They hold the corners really well. Uh, you get really competitive when you got a group together, of 3 or 4 drivers that are, on a long straight like there is at St. Croix. Yeah, everybody's using the draft as best they can, and trying to help each other out. But then when you get into the corners and stuff, you start really racing and trying to get by each other. So they are a ton of fun, and I will definitely do it again, and definitely take those things out on track and have a blast with them.
No, you're fairly new to organized competitive racing in a sense, I guess is the best way that we can call what we do here for League Racing Championships and GT7. I believe this is your first full-fledged championship kind of season that you've ran. Uh, Coming into tonight knowing you have a points cushion, did that change how nervous you were compared to, say, the first 9 races or maybe even the first 2 races of the season coming in tonight? You had a fairly comfortable points lead there, obviously, in the AM division coming in here tonight, but does that change how that pressure really affects you as you're getting your car ready to line up on the grid to see that green flag?
It was in the back of my mind. I was more concerned with being mid-pack and hoping that we really, you know, basically gave each other some cushion so that we could, warm up and get to racing. Um, the the points were a little bit of a concern. I mean, it's a double points night, so it's not going to matter. You still have to push. You still have to focus on the track and do what you can to not get fatigued, especially for a 60-minute race. They're long. Um, so it was behind, in the back of my mind. But I just tried to go out and have a good race, put on a good show, and unfortunately, I got into the no man's land area for a while. But that was okay because it just kind of gave me some time to relax a little bit and run my race the way that I wanted to.
And with that being said, you had obviously a plan and a strategy before coming into the racing event here today. And was that the strategy that you ultimately executed here this evening?
Yeah, it was. It pretty much went just the way that I was hoping it would. Like I said, if I would have pushed a little bit sooner, probably at the end of the second stint, maybe I could have been up in fourth or fifth. But I waited until the third stint, and they were too far ahead. I tried to overcut, and I was probably in the pits too long. My fuel was probably lower than what they had when they had pitted the lap before. But it all worked out. It all went according to the way that I wanted it to. So I can't be unhappy with that.
Absolutely. And I mean, at the end of the night, and I mean, we can officially call this one. You can now say that it's TPC Dark Cobra Am champion after your long 60-minute race here today. So, I mean, at the end of the race, I guess the biggest question is I remember the first time that I hit my first podium, still like the day like it was yesterday. I remember the first time I won my first championship, still like the day it was yesterday. What was that feeling like when you crossed the checkered flag here this evening?
Kind of hard to believe. This is my first like real organized competitive series that I've run, and to come in, with no knowledge of the cars, no knowledge of the tracks the way that I look at them now, and with the improvements that I have had, I'm extremely happy and gonna definitely do it again. And I love the competitive racing. It's fun. Everybody is very welcoming and very helpful. Even the pros. There's no. Yeah, you might be an amateur, you might be a pro-am, you might be a pro, but there's nobody holds anything above you or below you. Everyone is the same. We get on track and we go race and we have fun. And if somebody sees something that someone can improve, they give their knowledge. They hand their knowledge over. It's not held on to. So it's fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. I signed a contract with TT. So I am moving over to TT, and I will be TT Dark Cobra 775. So you're going to see 775 on track a lot more, and hopefully up into a lot more podiums and a lot more championships.
Absolutely, and we knew you were waiting to let that cat out of the bag for a long, long time now. So we were gonna let you have it, but that is correct, ladies and gentlemen. 10 Tenths Simracing has signed Dark Cobra here over to the team. It did happen earlier throughout the season, but obviously we have rules and regulations in place for drivers signing on to teams during active competitions, and he was unofficially he was still racing as an independent racer for the championship season. So now that the season is done, we will sign that contract up here, obviously once he's done celebrating his championship win here this week, and we will see TT Dark Cobra here on track in the future. So welcome to the team. A great performance here this season. It's been a pleasure having you. You're a great fit, and congratulations. With that being said, final remarks, the floor is yours, and thank you to the viewers.
Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the fans. Thank you to all of the racers in all of the divisions. A huge shout out to my former crew, TPC, for all of the support, encouragement, and the go get 'em attitude that they have shown, and everything that they've done for me. And to my family at TT, thank you so much. I cannot thank enough for everyone there. There's too many people over there to name. It's the entire team. From Miss D to Ghost to all the way down to me. I mean, it's a fabulous organization. It is a fabulous time, and I cannot wait for more. But thank you. Looking for more, and let's go race.
Let's go racing. Isn't that what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen? I couldn't agree more. But nonetheless, great performance here this season. And we'd love to see the improvement from every single one of our racers on track this season. And every single one of our racers improve this season, whether it shows easily or not. Every single driver made big strides this season in a very difficult series. And unfortunately, we can only call one champion. But in our eyes here at GT45 Gaming, they're all legends, so they're all champions. Why? Because they show up and they give 110% every single racing week. And that's all we can ask for. And obviously, as long as they're having fun, that is also the most important thing. But congratulations on a great win here tonight and an overall championship title here. And we'll let you get back to the paddock and go celebrate that championship.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, fans. Thank you, viewers. Have a good evening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time to talk to our Pro-Am champion. THG's Drone Kobe, ladies and gentlemen, came out here tonight, had to start in 11th position because he's our championship points leader. It was a reverse grid based off those championship point standings here tonight. And it was not an easy fight for him here to remain on top of this division. He had 10 Tenths Fast Ginger and Team Raz the Damn Cat nipping and could potentially have discrowned and taken that championship away from him here tonight. And he started off slow. He stayed cool. He stayed calm. He used a little bit of strategy and just the incredible pace that he's brought to this division all season long. And when you mix up 20 laps and 62.5 minutes of racing by the time he comes across to take that checkered flag, he has a race win and a championship title. Congratulations, Trone. Absolutely spectacular racing here. Very hard fought win here for you tonight. Very well deserved. Talk us through how your night was.
Wow, that race was incredible. The start of the race, we got to turn two. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. I unfortunately got hit and turned sideways, but I straightened my car back out. And I lost at least 10 seconds to the leader. So I was pushing, just pushing to catch up. I finally managed to catch up with some people and put in put it in lap 8, and I saw Bass Chincher put in as well. And second stint, it was wild. I was just trying to get back into pace. And I saw near the end of my stint, I saw Sheriff Doofy. I thought he was had an accident because I saw time going down, but it turns out that he was saving. So we both jumped in the pits at the same time. I came out ahead of him, and from there I just kept my head down and crossed crossed the line with the wind.
No, if any driver here tonight felt the most pressure, I would assume it would have been you. You're coming in, you have a soft lead. You have about a 13-point lead over TDC Gaming in second place and about 30 points over Fast Ginger. Now, both these drivers have proven to be very worthy opponents and very tough competitors on track. You definitely had plenty of battles throughout the season with those two drivers. But then we have the wild card to come in midway through the season with Sheriff Doofy on track here as well. We know he's very quick and was in control of the race for a very large part of the race. So with all those things being said, did you feel more pressure? Again, same question to Cobra. Did you feel more pressure getting ready to line your car up on the starting grid for green flag in tonight's race than any other race this season, or was it just another day at the office here for you today?
It was definitely more pressure, especially starting from the back. You have to worry about people that have people's pace in front of you. Um, I it managed. Yeah, I'll say it's definitely more pressure, especially when TDC and Fast Church are in front of me. If I would have lost it and they stayed ahead, I probably would have lost the being champion and all.
Absolutely. I mean, out of all the battles on the racetracks through 30 plus drivers and three different splits and two different lobbies here this season, I would definitely say that the Pro-Ams definitely had some hard, tough fought races all season long. And for the most part, right from green flag to checkered flag. Now, tonight's race was a little bit more calmed down and spread out. Obviously, I think it was probably more of the drivers battling the track necessarily than it was each other. But at that one point in the second stint, like you said yourself, you touched base on, you were actually trailing in behind Fast Ginger and the Damn Cat, and you guys weren't separated by too much. It was about 2 or 3 seconds in between each of you as your guys were following down the line. Did that change at all how you were thinking about maybe your pit stop strategy was going to go heading into your next pit stop? Did that change maybe how hard you were pushing your race car? Did that change any point of your strategy at that point in the race, or did you just kind of stick to your guns and just see how it all played out?
I just stuck to my guns. There was no point of me changing my strategy. Um, because if I try to change it, then I would have messed things up. Because I was already saving as I go to short shifting and the saving gas and everything. So yeah, that was a definite. Um, I was sticking to that.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've been watching you race for a long time now throughout different communities and of course here at our own community as well. And you just continue to show a little more pace improvement, a little more consistency improvement every single championship season, no matter what it is. You seem to be behind the wheel You know, we asked you this question a couple seasons ago in another community, the Gran Turismo racing community, and we're going to ask you the same question again. I mean, you know, you are really showing some great pace in the Pro Am division. We feel like you are definitely right there on that pro bubble of pace again. You know, are you ready to go race with the pros and see where you stack up?
Hopefully, I'm trying to get in there. I was hoping to be in it this season, but it didn't happen. But I'm gonna try next season. Let's see how it plays out.
And the reason why we asked him that, Chad, is because the last time we got this answer from Trone, it was a much different answer that we got from Trone when we asked him this question. He did not seem as confident about his pace at that point in time. And you know, when you were staring at an A plus driver, an A driver as they're going around these races as a viewer watching before your race, sometimes it's a little bit intimidating at how fast and how quickly they can get their cars around the racetracks. But when we asked Troy and Kobe a couple seasons later, and when we say a couple seasons, it's probably been about a 16-month gap now since we've last asked Troy this question. You know, the answer is much different this time around. It's full of confidence. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the broadcast when we were touching base on our Pro-Am champion, THC's Tyrone Kobe here, was that exact thing. As we've been watching some of our racers progress throughout the season, Tyrone does stand out as one of those racers that's really showing great leaps and bounds and improvement. And one of the biggest things in racing for everybody at home and our racers watching and tuning in still is that mental game. How you feel about your race also matters upstairs as much as it does with your hands in the steering wheel. And I think that the mental aspect of sim racing, much like real life racing, is easily half the battle. So to see that the answer has changed that much from 16 months ago, it just goes to show that that confidence, that understanding, and that seat time and that experience really starting to kick in for our sim racers, and in this case tonight, Tyrone Kobe. So, you know, congratulations. I mean, like I said, you just continue to improve each and every racing season that you get into. You find a little more pace, you get a little more consistent, and you definitely get a lot more racier with whoever it is you're on track with and against. So, you should be really proud of where you've come from over the last 16 months, and I'm really glad to hear that bold, confident answer coming out of THC's Tyrone Kobe, because I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the GT45 Prototypes Challenge might be done this season, but we will be releasing another championship. And if Tyrone Kobe wants his shot in that pro division, we may very well give it to him. But, you know, it's just been a good season. You had a strong debut this season. You've had a good, strong middle part of the season. You had a really strong finish to the season. You had a couple of races that probably, every racer has a couple of races that probably aren't ideal in their own mind. And I'm sure that was the case here for you tonight. But overall, happy with how the race went tonight and overall with how the overall championship season went.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely happy about the race tonight. Cause like I said before, the Pershaw and St. Croix C is like heaven for me. I'm very strong with this combination. My season overall seems pretty good. Except for Mazda, that's where I totally messed up. So that'll be my chart round. I came in like ninth or eighth. I forget. But I won a couple of others, and I managed to hang in there. But I'm pretty. I feel pretty good about my season.
Well, and you really should be, because you are a GT45 Prototype Challenge Pro-Am champion, and congratulations for that. And you know, you can hold your head up high, because anytime you get to call yourself a champion in after any hard-fought 10-week league season, definitely adds a little bit of confidence to our drivers. So, you know, it's been a pleasure to watch you race this season. You've brought so much fight and competition to this division here this season, and even when the competition got stronger as new racers jumped in and got thrown into the mix with this division this season, you just answered the call, and at the end of the season are on top of the division. So congratulations on a very well earned and very hard fought championship, in my opinion, against a very tough field of racers. And I definitely can hear that THG clubhouse already in the distance, waiting and hollering and chanting this man's name. But before we let him go, any final remarks and shout outs to the viewers?
Uh, I want to shout out to all the racers in this championship. Y'all did a great job this season. I enjoyed racing with everyone. especially Chef Duffy who came in mid-season. The good job. Hopefully we get battle next season, a full season. Shout out to girls for this wonderful series. I enjoyed the prototypes. Prototypes are one of my favorites. Since I'm fast in it, to be honest. Shout out to THG and shout out to my wife because she also watched back the replays and everything, and and helping me to keep the cool head while I'm racing.
Absolutely, and an absolutely great shout outs from a great champion, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, THG's Drone Kobe, GT45 Gaming, Prototype Challenge Pro-Am Champion. Congratulations. We're going to let you get back. Go celebrate with that great family and that great team behind the scenes. And we'll be talking to all of our divisional champions and podium finishers here maybe sometime next week. And we're going to have a little sit down with some of the drivers and some of our team representatives here, and we're going to hang out and we're going to have a little one-on-one chat with our racers. We're going to let the fans come in, ask our racers some questions. They get to pick their favorite racers. They get to ask them some questions, get a little bit of insight. We're going to have a fun little kick the end of season off, and of course, just make sure we give all our podium finishers and our racers that well-deserved recognition after a very hard 10-week season here at GT45 Gaming. So congratulations, and we'll see you very soon, my man.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we said we had a few things to go over and talk about here before we shut the stream down. So that is the case. Now, there is a lot that's going to happen here over the next week, so just to bear with the patience and be patient on the announcements. Okay, so here's how it's all going to happen down. We have unofficial results in front of us here. We can name Tro and Kobe and Dark Cobra our champions, and I'm about 95% sure that Lucas369 is our pro champion as well. After preliminary results, of course, that is. So now what's going to happen is we have to, of course, allow our drivers that 24-hour incident report window. Now, obviously, I haven't been into the Discord server to check to see if any incident reports have come in since we started the broadcast here for our pros, but basically at the time that this race had ended would be where our pro reporting window will close. Now we do have obviously a potential tire issue in our stewarding's office right now, which we touched base on during the broadcast, and that will be settled here by tomorrow evening. So now what will happen is the pro-ams will get that same deal. They'll get 24 hours to file any potential incident reports that they feel like is necessary here for the race. Now, if we get no reports, and after our tire mandate review by our stewarding official team here, and they send back those assessments, then we will head over in to SLP. We'll gather all of our statistical information from SLP. We'll take our secondary statistical information, which is being tracked outside of SLP in our Discord server as well, because it's always better to have 2 or 3 different pieces of information for the same thing in case there's a discrepancy. We can always go back and back check and find where the issue is. So it's going to take a couple of days for us to go over 30 plus drivers, all 10 rounds of racing. We have to take their worst round out, take it out of the points, and we also have to check to make sure if they had any pole position, driver of the day, or fastest lap points. Those points remain on their points table because the bonus points do not go with the drop round if it so happens that one of those rounds is dropped where you've collected a bonus point. So once we have factored all of those things in, we will have an official set of points, and then we can officially name and crown our overall podium finishers and divisional champions. And of course, we will do that live with, like I said, a little sit down with some of our drivers, some of our representatives, and we'll sit there and with the fans and the viewers and let the viewers ask some questions to our drivers and our racers this season that you've been so kind to hang out with us here all season long, watch, cheer on, and just enjoy the GT45 content, hopefully. So that is one of the first things. That's the process. That's how things are going to go here for the season. In the meantime, while that's happening, we'll finalize our all-star race. We'll get those announcements out, and of course, the drivers that will be partaking in our all-star race will probably start preparing for said all-star race. And I got to tell you what, this is going to be a really fun one, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing out a car you haven't seen yet from the LMP1 class this season, and we did that on purpose this season because this is the legendary LMP1 car when it comes to LMP1 technology, especially older LMP1 technology. This is the GOAT So we are definitely busting out the goat for the All-Star race, and it's going to be a track that you will not usually see in competition at GT45 Gaming because it has a couple of things about the racetrack and that it makes it so we don't use it during actual competition. However, this is an All-Star race. This is not a championship competition. There are no points on the line for our drivers. This is for fun. This is to send the season off and just put on a show for all you amazing viewers watching at home. So we appreciate everybody, and that's kind of our thank you to you guys, is a little fun show to send off this LMP1 season here, and that will be in about 2 or 3 weeks time once we get it sorted, figure out when the best time for all of our drivers asked to race obviously can come in, and it will most likely probably move to a Saturday or Sunday event. We also would like to throw a big shout out to the Endurance Racing Federation. For those of us that are aware in the community, I did some work with this organization over this past weekend. They were hosting a 24-hour endurance race at the Nürburgring, and there was some great racing going on at that race. We did 3 2-hour stints for that great organization over there, and I just want to make note that we've been doing this a while. We've been hosting champs a while. We've seen lots of champs come from organizations, and we've worked with lots of organizations while they're running their championships. We've seen a lot of different setups and a lot of different ways that things can be done. And I just want to say congratulations to the Endurance Racing Federation because they absolutely knocked out, in my personal opinion, probably the best 24-hour Nürburgring racing event I have ever seen on GT7, potentially even in quite some time, in all of the sim platforms out there. It was absolutely incredible, right from the setup, right to the production value, right to the understanding of the rules, the regulations by the drivers, and the absolute 24 straight hours of non-stop racing battling that happened at the Nürburgring in that race this past weekend. I just want to say a huge shout out to them guys and the racers over there, and thank you for the opportunity to come and step into such an amazing event over at the Endurance Racing Federation this past weekend. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well and say thank you to them. And we have some new championships coming from our sister community here at GT45 Gaming as well. The Gran Turismo Racing community has just dropped a couple of new championships here, preparing to get ready for registration and qualifying over on Sim League Pro. So if you are on Sim League Pro, which many of us now are getting into because this is kind of the way of league racing in the future, head over and search the GTRC and go ahead and join the community. I am an admin over there with that group as well. Like I said, they are a sister community here. They are family to GT45 Gaming, and they are bringing a Open Group 3 and a Red Bull Junior competition here that is ran on Saturdays. So if you want to check it out, hit me up. Let me know in the comments. Head over to SLP, jump into the GTRC community over there, or send us a message here in my Discord server. And the owner and operator of the GTRC is in our server and can get you everything you need to get you over there and set up and get you the information you want. Again, we always like to show the love to the community that shows us so much love. The GTRC has been a great sister community here. The GT45 Gaming has been a beautiful relationship we've had for several years now between the two groups. And you guys are looking for something to race in right now that's on the weekends. About 3 or 4 weeks time, the championships are going to start over there. They're every other weekend for the Group 3, and then the Red Bull Juniors go in, and then it alternates like that through X amount of weeks that they decide to set it up for, and it is also live broadcast by yours truly, GT45 Gaming. So that's what's going on right now. GT45 Gaming is coming up with the next championship. We are in behind the scenes. We are working on our next championship, and what I am going to tell everybody is it is going to be a Group 3. What style, what kind of setup, length of races, and is it going to be a one-make spec setup, or is it going to be an open class racing series, has yet to be decided. Those are the things that we're still working on for that champ. Once we get those things sorted out, it is literally just a matter of putting it all together, and we'll be right back at it here at GT45 Gaming with qualifying, registration, and another great championship season. However, with that being said, I do expect that a Group 3 season is going to bring back a lot of our normal races that we didn't see in the LMP1 championship as well. So we are potentially going to be moving our major GT45 championships over to Saturdays and Sundays. So that is just fair warning to our racing community and our viewing community. Now, what does that mean for Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays when we're used to seeing this kind of stuff from GT45 Gaming? Well, what does that mean? That just means room for more championships. That's what that means, ladies and gentlemen. So we are working on more than one championship right now. We will not drop all of these championships, obviously, at the same time due to logistical reasons and the amount of hands on deck we would need to operate that much headway. But what we are going to do is develop the major championship, get that set up, get that drop, get that thing moving. Once we get a couple rounds of racing in underway there, we will start to take a look at that Monday or Tuesday evening championship. So we do have plenty of racing coming here from GT45 Gaming, and we're not going to see quite the delay in between our championships here that we've seen since our last championship to this championship. So the development team and the administration staff is very hard at work behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know, there is definitely something brewing in the background and definitely coming, and we can't wait to get it underway. I mean, this is what we do here. We race, we commentate, we put on a show the best we can for all you amazing viewers at home. So it is because of all you viewers as well, their continuing support and the continuing growing support here at GT45 Gaming in the racing community and our racing fans that we are now trying to continue to produce more championship content for everybody at home. So we have one major championship coming, and then we are working on some other smaller individual championships for some of those weeknights that we are used to seeing some of those great things happening here as well. So just more racing coming here from GT45 Gaming as far as this part of it goes. Now, what is GT45 Gaming doing in the off season? How is this going to affect the content, and how are we going to see how much content are we going to see from GT45 Gaming? We are going through some stuff right now in real life. Life happens. It's just normal stuff. We're okay. Nothing bad, chat. Don't worry about that. So it's going to be a little hit and miss at times, but the progression is nothing changes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have full intentions on being live, whether it be an open lobby, a championship, maybe we're doing commentary for an organization that needs a fill-in from a commentator and we're happen to be around and available, whatever the case may be. There's definitely going to be some follow content coming as well. That's going to be starting as early as tomorrow. We have a new season starting on Fallout 76 tomorrow, so there's going to be new season content coming from the new Fallout season. You will also potentially see other stuff here happening as we're trying to get more involved with our community here as well at GT45 Gaming. So obviously the sim racing is a big part of the community and the involvement of the community, but we also have a community that doesn't necessarily sim race and does other things, plays other styles of games, and we do like to play other styles of games. So I'm trying to get back to the roots of GT45 Gaming a tiny little bit when we have the opportunity to, and just get a little more behind the scenes, sit back in those PlayStation chats with our community members and just play games with all the people that show us this great support here at GT45 Gaming. So we are going to try and get back to that little bit of the roots content as well for everybody, and that is where the Ghost After Dark is coming into play. If you see Ghost After Dark in the title, you can expect that to be a little more risque content. It's definitely going to be 18 plus and adult orientated content, because you get a bunch of adults together having a good time, say playing a Call of Duty game or something, just as an example. Things are going to get a little crazy. That's just the way it works. So just a few of the things that we wanted to go over here at the end of the stream, just so you guys and gals know what is happening now that the championship season is over. We have an all-star race coming. We're developing that next championship season as we speak behind the scenes. We still have to settle, obviously, final standings and everything wrapped around this event here, and we still have to get those all-star race invitees in as well. And we will be bringing that podcast style stream here maybe near the end of next week to sit down with our championship winners, our polls, our podium sitters, and we may bring in a team representative from each of the competing teams here this season as well, to sit down, have a good old Rochambeau behind pit wall discussion about the season, and just chill out and hang out with the community and let you guys ask the racers some questions and just have some fun with the racers. So again, GT45 Gaming is really trying to to get back to some roots, really try to get more personal with this community, because this community really is the best community in the world. So I appreciate all the support from the community, and that is why we continue to strive to improve and continue to advance what we're doing here. So I would just like to first and foremost thank all the viewers for continuing to show the support and the love each and every week, because we really can't do it without you. We don't have a page if we don't have the support from everybody watching at home. To the family members that come out and watch their family members race, you guys are crazy, absolutely awesome. We love the families that come in and race. We get pictures sent to us all the time from our racers, and of living rooms full of family members watching their cousin or their brother or their uncle, whatever the case may be, or their auntie, racing against other racers in these championships on the big screen TVs in the living room. It's really cool, and we really appreciate it. And that's why we really strive to try and keep this part of the content as family friendly as we can. So thank you so much to the viewers, to the admin staff, our racing officials, everybody behind the scenes that keeps things ticking in a clockwise motion here at GT45 Gaming. I mean, obviously, I definitely cannot do it without them. Right down to just answering the simple questions in the Discord server, and still managing the general Discord server community on top of the championship that's going on. They are just spot on it. We have added some new members to the team here recently, preparing for that next championship season. Obviously, we're trying to get more hands on deck. And with that being said, I want to give an extra special thank you out to Ten Tenths Misdevious. And Ten Tenths Misdevious has really stepped above and beyond, as she always does throughout every championship season, with the extra graphic work, with the driver of the day posters. So this is that was just something that kind of happened, and of course everybody loved it, and it looked amazing. And here we have it all season long. And of course I will be inquiring with our absolutely legendary graphics guru here, Miss Devious, from behind the scenes to come up with a couple more pretty cool things here before the end of the season. So I want to give a really special shout out to Ten Tenths Miss Devious. She really goes above and beyond the Call of Duty a lot of the time to just try and give the racers a little bit something more to be excited about, and to give the viewers at home something a little more cooler to see on the stream as well. We can't do it with all the helping hands behind the scenes. And most importantly, thank you to video games. We wouldn't be doing this at all if we didn't have PlayStation 5 and Gran Turismo 7. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought at 40 years old, I'm sitting here behind a microphone, connected to a laptop, connected to my PlayStation, potentially talking to the whole world, and watching some people race. I mean, who would have thought, right? I would have never thought. This is stuff that I dreamed about when I was a kid. Well, it would be so cool to make money playing video games. It would be so cool to make a living playing video games. Well, nowadays, it's a possible reality, and it's really cool. So, I'm doing what I love. I've always played video games. I've always loved playing video games, and I've always loved playing video games with other people. So this just fits right into what I love to do, and we're going to continue doing it for a long time to come. So we appreciate it, and we just want the community to know what's going on and what's happening with GT45 Gaming. I know it's been a little up and down. There's been a lot of lackluster content over the last year, and we were seriously contemplating on maybe calling it a career, but it's the community. The community just continues to push me harder and deeper into this, and just pushes me harder. And the more and more that we continue to get into this and continue to drop championships and continue to have other opportunities with other great organizations to go and watch other great sim racers do the exact same thing that our community is doing, it just keeps me absolutely fired up every single day of the week. This is what I look forward to. I don't look forward to going and making real money. I look forward to coming out here and hanging out with our community every chance that I get. So with that being said, you'll be seeing a lot more GT45 Gaming. So smash that like and that share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels. And we appreciate all that amazing support. Champions are born here this week at GT45 Gaming, and for the first time ever in the history of GT45 Gaming, we have official GT45 Gaming racing champions. Big moment for me. Big moment for me. I've been trying to keep it together this whole time. We're starting to lose it here, so we're definitely going to be hitting that music button. But I'm very humbled by my racers, the viewers, and everybody in behind the scenes. I really am. There has been a lot of times and a lot of things that have happened over the last couple of years, especially, that should have shut this page down and ended this content creator's career. And this community just will not allow that to happen. They step up every time and they make sure that this page keeps pushing forward and keeps trying to reach more people and bring more great people into this family. And as we continue every championship, we continue every race, we do every broadcast, and we get into a chat, we step into a game lobby with one of our great community members, I'm reminded why we do this. So thank you for supporting our first championship season and supporting myself, because the belief that the community and the racers have in me really means so much more to me than everybody may ever realize. So thank you for the undying support, and that is the reason why we're going to continue to try and bring great high energy commentary to you for many years to come. And with that being said, I want to give one extra special shout out to my mentor, my inspiration, and the reason why I got into all of this in the first place. I want to give a big shout out to Ghost Viper Gaming. We all know who he is. He was in this championship season this season. This man come home from work, potentially even skipped dinner with his family to show that support in my championship, my first ever championship. This guy means the world to me. I look up to him. I've taken a ton of advice from Ghost Viper, and he still continues to this day to reach out and continue to give such great advice. The man is a legend, and he will always be a legend. And I would really like to thank him as well, because this wouldn't be possible today. This conversation wouldn't be happening right now today if it wasn't for inspiration that comes from people like Ghost Viper Gaming. Content creators are supposed to inspire people. We're supposed to make a difference in the world. We're supposed to make change for the good. That is what content creation is supposed to do. It's obviously not always used for that, but that is exactly what it's designed for. And Ghost Viper Gaming is the epiphany of what a content creator should be. And for that reason is why he is my mentor. He is my idol. So support from Ghost this season really meant a lot to me as well. So thank you everybody for a successful season. And I can't wait to hear what our drivers have to say next week during our interviews. And I definitely can't wait to see that Porsche 919 in the All-Star race in the hands of these more than capable race car drivers. We're in for a fun race in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you so much for all the support. Really appreciate everybody out there. I love all of you, each and every one of you. Appreciate each and every one of you more than you'll ever know. And we'll see you tomorrow night for some Fallout 76 content, as we are going to do the new season drop. Go take a look at the new events, the new changes to the map, and some new fun stuff coming here from Fallout 76. So we're going to send you off with our legendary music here for the last time this season from GT45 Gaming Championship, LMP1 Prototype Championship. And we'll see you tomorrow night for a little bit of a different style of content as we dive into Fallout 76. I appreciate y'all. Remember, y'all matter. Stay winning. Stay fast, because you're all champions. See you on the next one.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle. This is how legends are made. strong.